Hey, Christian Roberts there, buddy. Welcome, Christian Roberts.
Was the first. Always the first.
He always the first, man. He always the first. Christian Roberts.
Christian Roberts, man. I want to say thanks, man. You're always on point. You're always on time.
Yeah, he is.
I also see my buddy, my friend, he the great Fonati Collins of Delaware. He said the argument closed long time. Hey, Fonati, that's a good gentleman, man.
The argument not for joke,
That's
man.
the guy you want to have in your corner.
Yeah, good guy, very good guy.
Very good guy.
You need to meet his brother. I met one of his brother in Kentucky. The last time I had gone for the Vassar conference, and I met.
That's my brother there. That guy can take his shirt off his back for you, man. He's a nice gentleman.
Yeah. You know, his brother. Tomalin, I met one of his brother in Kentucky.
Okay.
You think Fonati, his brother, man, that guy said, "Hey, Peabody, you're not going nowhere." And that guy, we went from the meeting hall to his house. In fact, I stayed to the meeting hall. I almost didn't go to the bar. I mean, very good. Yeah, his brother was very good guy. Very good guy. You know, they're great people. You know, my father-in-law is a best friend to his dad. You know,
I left for a deep down. We sit down off on a view deck. We catch our here and small was the guy man Fonati. You know, and Fonati, his wife is my small sister to me too from Firestone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I know them. I come a long way.
Yeah, his dad.
Yeah, I also see the former director of the Liberian Fire Service, Colonel Alex K. Dixon, is watching. That's the guy I want to see at the DA. One of the guys, President Bagashu. Don't think about putting that guy at the DA. He was there before, and I'm sure he will make a very good head of the DA. He and Asher Pewee.
Yeah, Asher Pewee
needs to go to the DA to clamp down those drug dealers and those that are involved in the drug deal in our country.
Yeah. Asher Pewee should be given an opportunity. I think Asher.
President Boaga, opinion for Asher Pewee. You will help your fight on drugs. You'll be a successful person on that fight against drugs.
Yeah, Asher will serve his country well. Why not give him the opportunity, man?
So at least you get from a Dixon and Asher Pewee at that DA, you have the fight. That drug issue will be dropped.
Yeah, I think they will follow through.
On the high table, Winifred Smith is also here. James Bala watching from SKD Boulevard. I see James Koyate from Dupero.
The one and only James Koyate, right?
Yeah. Tonight we're having a special guest. We'll bring our guest in later on. We want him to relax. That's the person people want to hear from. They say he's very quiet. People have not heard from him before. They want to see him post. They want to post, but they're not seeing him really in action. But that's the guy, the CEO from Renaissance and Billicon. The Honorable Laiki Bealded. He'll be our guest tonight, and we'll be going Laiki on the wrong time because we'll be asking all the tough questions that are trending in the news. He has an answer to all the things, including the trending issue about trying to remove the speaker and all kinds of stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
He will have an ear for tonight. But before that, let me say, buddy, I said earlier I wanted to address citizens, especially the lawmakers. The issue about this attempt to remove the speaker is very, very troubling. We have a democracy that we should respect. You have the ruling party is the Unity Party. It controls the executive branch. And it's only good to have balance of power. It helps our democracy to function. But I would say, from my understanding, people have already started to sign this petition to remove the speaker. And some lawmakers have already started signing that document. And they are personally playing that game where they are saying they have the signature to remove him. But by law, you need 49 lawmakers to remove the speaker. And the way in which it is, the way in which the House is organized, you cannot remove the speaker except CDC lawmakers join forces. So tonight, I'm calling on the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala, to come forward and assure citizens and all Liberians that that they will stand with the speaker and that no CDC lawmaker will defect to join the rescue block in support to remove the speaker. You have 3 blocks. The rescue block, I think there are 34 members. CDC have 24 members. And independent lawmakers, the block, independent block, there are 15. To remove the speaker, you need 49 persons to vote. And what I'm hearing is rumor going around that they have 47 signatures trying to lure people to join them. I don't think it's not true. But it is upon the deputy speaker now, Thomas Fowler, to come forward to speak. He shouldn't wait for tomorrow, for the meeting tomorrow. Come forward and speak and announce, show the people that there is no plan to remove the speaker and the CDC block will not be a part of it. Because there's no way it can happen unless CDC members in the House defect to join the rescue block to remove the speaker. So it's up to them. Because if you think what you are trying to pursue is the right path, you're making a mistake. Because you are just turning the entire government over to the ruling party, and being a committee head, which means head, it doesn't matter. You need an opposition like the CDC bloc to keep the executive in check. But to join forces to try to remove the speaker is undemocratic, and whatever means they're trying to use to do it should be condemned. All because the speaker called for an audit. So, because for the last 18 some years, over $300 million, maybe I'm stating the value, have gone through the House of Representatives, and you cannot even give an account of it. They talk about audit, and they're all panicking because most of them want to run 2029. They want to be part of the election 2029. So they are doing all of these things to consolidate. Because once you are caught in any kind of audit, you know very well your chances of running for office, especially for president or vice president, it will be a problem. So we're calling on the CDC Legislative Caucus Chairman Senator McGill, the Deputy Speaker Thomas Fowler. You come forward and you call on your members in the House to not join forces. And rest assured, and all those who have signed that document already, withdraw your signature from on our petition. Okay? Because we will call your names at the appropriate time. So we just want to make sure that the message is loud and clear, and that is troubling, very troubling, and they should not be engaged in such a thing. Buddy.
It is indeed very troubling. You have your speaker is representing the country. He's in Italy, traveling, been invited by the president, and you are planning to remove him. Isn't that despicable? Very pathetic. The speaker is out of the country. He's representing the country. He's traveling with the president, the international community. And when they read the news about Liberia, if they go back, say, let me go and read about Liberia, the first thing they're going to see that people from his own party are not gang out. I hear there is $600,000 around that some of them are fighting to get. They are going down, getting money, and they're putting their name on list to remove the speaker for no apparent reason. They just want to do it. What a disgrace! It's despicable to our country. You know, it hasn't been 9 months, and you guys are acting, and you guys are the opposition as well. Who can Liberian people depend on? So I think it's bad. The deputy speaker need to come up. Thomas Fowler need to come and say something. McGill and others that are in the House and the Senate, they all need to come out and say something, because this is a big disgrace to the country, big disgrace to the CDC party, and big disgrace to you as a lawmaker. I mean, money will draw you into doing the wrong thing to represent your country. I only say be careful, because many of you guys will be sanctioned and may get on the Magnitsky sanction, because that's what you call you are paying people without any apparent reason. You are going out there paying people just to remove the speaker, because some of you got planned to be president or whatever. It's not even to form political party. It's not even 5 years into this leadership, and you guys are trying to do that. I think it's despicable. It's sad. the speaker call for you to be audited, and you guys are trying to create something. It's sad. It's sad, Tomalin. But I think the guest is should be with
Yes,
that.
yes. We will start with the guest will come. We'll start with him straight with this question, but we'll now bring in the Honorable Kehleboe, the CEO of Renaissance Communications and Bilicon, and who's our guest tonight. CEO Director General RCR, Honorable Kehleboe. Honorable Bealded, welcome to the closing argument. Your first time. So we want to first of all give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Dr. Peabody, the other guys will join us. But welcome to the closing argument.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone. On the closing argument. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Kehleboe, the Director General, CEO of Renaissance Communication Incorporated. Born in Nimba County, Secretary. Later on, moved back in Monrovia. My father was, he did his part by taking us from here and taking us to the US for schooling. And came back 2012 and started chasing my dream. I got married 2015, and I have 2 kids. One I named after my father, and one is Quincy B. Jr. A kid I took as my own after the musician Quincy B. passed. When he passed away, that's why I took him to be my son as well. So yeah, so far so good.
Who's your father?
Musa Hassan Bealded.
Wow. You guys almost made history. For the first time, Liberia would have had a father and son in a house in the legislature.
Yes.
Lai, it's good to see you again. We're happy to see you. And I'm sorry you came at a time where the news are trending, so we're not going to spare you tonight. We'll make you to talk politics and all. So first of all, let me ask you, how's everything? How's the family? And how's your business? How's everything going with you in Liberia so far?
All is well. All is well. Being in the private sector is the best right now, even though things are not okay. But being in the private sector is something that we are not gaining, but also we are not affected. With or without government doing good, we are still moving. So my family is doing well. The staff and everyone around me is doing well. So we thank God for life.
Okay. Before we bring in this training issue, let me start with you. You ran in District 4, Montserrado County, and in fact, when you were launching your campaign launch, in fact, the whole district was shut down. And in fact, as we walked through the district, every time you asked, your name was everywhere. I saw them, all the buildings, Lai, was all over the place. In fact, I think your launching was even more than the party you ran on launching. I think you drew more crowd than the CPP. I'm sorry, I don't vote, but your launching was very. I mean, I'm telling you, it was a heavy turnout. But then, when the results came, we found out that you didn't made it to the finish line, and you conceded. You never made no noise. Well, a lot of things happened, but first of all, I want to say, how was that election, and how come you didn't succeed in becoming the representative of District 4?
The election was an experience that I can never forget. It was a learning process. Being the youngest in a race and being one of the most loved contender. I think favorable, I would like to say, even though I did not win, but I believe that I was favorable to win the election. It's something that I can never forget. The process was, it choked me at some point because it's my first time running, and those that came ahead of me due to the results, they've been into politics for a very long time. So me coming to, at least being in politics for the first time and being a contender that people never expected me to even be top five. Uh, I think it's a blessing. I think it's a good experience for me.
Peabody?
CEO Ability, is good to see you and welcome to the Closing Acumen. It's great to have you. I heard about you a lot. I have not had the chance to meet you when I came to Liberia. Hopefully soon when I get back to Liberia we'll get to meet. But it's a pleasure having you, and let me say that it's such an honor and the opportunity that you guys can this simulcast Closing Acumen. You guys have really to get the message out there to the people. We are really excited about that, and want to personally thank you for all you guys for all you do to help us getting the message to the Liberian people. You've been running this station for a long time. How is it like to run a media institution in Liberia?
Oh, it's very difficult, honestly. It's very difficult, especially being a private institution, the number one private institution. Let me just give you a little history back to when I started, when I took over the station. It was in 2013, September 6th, when I took over the station as the Director General. Having veterans like the late Raske, the late Mama Tiakite, JKB, AB Wion, so many great journalists that I had to collaborate with, to make sure that the station remains second to none. So working with them, they accepted everything that I brought on board. I never come with that ego on my shoulder to say, oh yes, it's my father's station. I want it this way, I want it that way. We work together collectively, and some of them, they have better opportunity. They move on to, higher heights to different companies. To some of them working in government today. So from 2013 up to today's date, I've been a director general until I was given, the opportunity to serve as the CEO today. So I think the biggest job was to make sure we maintain our integrity, to maintain, the legacy. So that has been something that really been key on my agenda.
Wow, you talk about some of the veteran journalists that have come through Truth FM. You talk about um, Mama, what's the guy name? I mean, I remember great journalists that have come through, and some of them are now on other platforms and things like that that have come through your station. But let me ask you here, Mr. Ability. You talk about the challenges. You talk about maintaining your integrity. What helped you maintain your integrity? You have been running this station for the last 12 years? Am I right, or more?
Yeah, I've been here for quite a while.
Okay.
Maintaining my integrity. What I'm trying to say, you know, one thing I tell all my reporters and everybody that's working, at the radio station, I don't want you to be biased with your story. A lot of radio entity today, you will hear them just speaking one side of every story. And I want to maintain the name of the radio station, which is Truth FM. I always tell people every story you hear, people can say there are two sides of the story. And I don't believe that. I believe there are three sides: your side, their side, and the truth. So, regardless of whatever story people, whoever brings in, I want you to go and investigate and hear both sides of the story and report it. So, those who are listening, they will know exactly what went wrong and how to, interpret the story. So, I have not been, um, oh no, we have not been on a radio station where we are one sided. No, no. Even during the election, we did all we could to remain balanced. So this is something that I want to keep going every year. I remember the last regime, people always say about, the CDC, they got some misstep and this and that. You should be talking about it. I'm like, what we hear is what we're going to talk about. Whatever that goes on, we'll talk about it. Whatever that goes right, we'll talk about it. So they decided that, okay, since we don't want to criticize the government, we became CDC government. So Nana, UP in power.
Yeah.
Say they are misstep, they are this. Like True FM, why you're not speaking? Oh, you're not becoming UP government. You're not become UP government station. But my thing is, what we hear is what we talk about.
Yeah.
We try to balance the story. We try to maintain our integrity.
Yeah. But CEO Bealded, let me ask you, radio station in Liberia, a lot of challenges. One, you don't make a lot
Paying
of money.
staff.
Yeah, you don't make a lot of money. In fact, you probably spend most of the time you spend your own money to keep the station going. People coming for ad advertisement, how they can pay anything. They want to have a story. They want you to run the story. They want you to carry it for them, but they they just feel that the media should do it for them. And we know around the world the media is not free. People have to pay to do certain things. Any message you get out there, you got to pay. People want to come. So how do you blend it? How do you even raise funds to keep your station going? Because I know you've been existing for more than 12 years. It's not easy. Existing, you got staff to pay, you got light bills to pay, you got other things to do. How do you do it? You know.
Well, I have a degree in business. Uh, so I just brought my business expertise to the table. Media institution in Liberia don't really make money as the way international, media institution again. Again, there are some, media entity that are being sponsored by government agency, that are being sponsored by, representative in other places, you know. So, but for me, I get my income from businesses. Even a government agency want to come at my station to say, oh, like we want to do business. I'll give you a full proposal. And again, I do your PR. I don't want free money. Sometimes they'll come, oh, like when this happen, I want your little on it. I'm like, what we hear is what we're going to talk, but we will serve as your PR, whatever you want us to do, we will do it. But we don't receive much income from government. Government agency is, it less than what we receive for private businesses. And we're talking about Orange Liberia. We work with EcoBank Liberia. Other business entity. But some government agency or some representative, when you don't work with them, they want for you to be biased. So that's why I don't go knock into that. But it's difficult running an institution.
Too many come back in, and then I'll come back with you. I mean, I'm really enjoying the conversation.
Yes, honorability, Alai. I'm aware that this True FM. A lot of great journalists have passed through this. I heard the late Mamadi Dakate, even Patrick Horner. A lot of people have come through the walls of True FM. How do you feel as you guys recruit and train these guys, and then they leave you guys to go on to form their own? I mean, do it bother you, or do you feel that do you feel appreciated that, well, at least I'm able to be a part of that person journey in the career? How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel accomplished. All of them before they leave, I have a one-on-one interaction with them. Don't get me wrong, radio station don't pay that much. You understand? So if the grass is greener on that side, they come to me and say, "Hey, man, I mean, for me, this is my station. I can't leave. Your salary is this, but if up there is doing better for you, I believe, you know, take the chance. You leaving doesn't mean that the station will not survive. This is why we build this institution on principles, not to say, oh, when one person leave, then the whole station break down. No, the station is the one that making people. You don't make the station. That's one thing I brought on the table to make sure that everybody that works the at the station, they are well, you know, welcome on the platform. When you get a platform, promote yourself. Do what you gotta do to be known across Liberia and find yourself at a better place. Or somebody want to hire you, for a better opportunity. I want you to take the chance. I won't tell you. I will never tell you to stay. But my disappointment, it's not about making them. It's not about us saying that Truth FM makes someone, but many of the names you just listed, they could leave today, or many of them left from Truth FM. They are now working in government, or they have been working in government. But paying back to where you got known from is my disappointment right there. And many of them from the media institution, and many of them serving at as let's say secretary or press, leading the press of wherever entity they're working at. So they got the agency you're working for, they got budget for media. Why don't you want to include True FM into it? They don't want to do it. Every company, every government institution, even politicians, some of them working for politicians, they got a media component where you can, work with radio station and journalists. They don't include Truth FM at all. And I won't lie to you, this Guar anniversary, it was on the 7th. I was tagging so many of them posts, I didn't reply to it. You come from Truth FM. You now working somewhere that you could literally just put Truth FM name there to say, okay, I'll be working along with Truth FM to be able to promote the entity I work for. But that's not how it is. You can't leave from an institution that built you, and now you work at, somewhere you could say, okay, I work with Truth FM. Only one person did, I won't spoil it, which is Louis Kono. Louis Kono left. He's now working for NAFA, the fishery.
Yeah, national fishery. Yeah.
Yeah, national fishery. That's where he works. He left from here. He came back. He said, "Lai, I work with NAFA. I'm the head of press there, so I'll be working with a station." I said, "I appreciate it, bro." But others that left, they don't even look back. Even those who promoted, politicians, don't look back. Never said thank you. So that's my disappointment.
Yes. I mean, I too will be disappointed, especially when you get recognized through the True FM. Is where you gain national prominence. I think it's always good to go back to your alma mater and pay them some homage. It's always good. But let me just recognize this guy. Somebody watching from Sano County, D.A. Camo, watching from Greenville, Sano County. Wow, True FM. You guys are all over the country. I want to recognize D. Camo. He watches from Sano County in Greenville. And True FM, as I said, they have been around for a long time. That's why if you are being carried live on True FM, you are heard all over the country. And they're not a station that you will stop to realize then you cut off. I remember I was in Encyclopedia with the Honorable. We're listening to True FM there too. So you guys are doing a good job. And like Peabody asked a question, I know how costly it is to maintain all these facilities or kind of a network, so forth. But let me ask you about this. Is Billicon or Benicon? What's the name of it?
Billicon.
Billicon. Can you tell us more about
Billicon? My middle name and my last name. I just can't find it.
Tell us about Billicon. I think it's an entertainment institution, right? Because I think you help promote some Liberian stars or so forth. What is it all about?
A lot of people don't know that. By my profession, I'm a journalist. Even to say, "Oh, I'm the CEO of Renaissance Communication Incorporated," they won't believe it. All the 13, 11 years I spent at Truth FM, nobody believed that I was the director general. But sometimes you don't need the credit, but just make sure the work is being done. But the Bealded Entertainment was created to be able to serve the young people of Liberia on so many levels. So I started the Bealded Entertainment 2012 and started working with Liberian artists, started working on movies, Liberian movies, did pageantry. We introduced a new way of, how to run a pageant in Liberia, and hosted football tournament. Now we are into basketball. Even today, I have my basketball team play today. We're in the third division, but we got qualified to the second division. And I'm, Belecon also into sports. Like, this is how I got known in Liberia, just giving back to the country without we're all having to work in government and do the needful. So my father has been my inspiration, so I've been learning from him. So yeah.
Oh, welcome, Lofa. Welcome. Maybe Lofa
Yeah,
will.
I was muted and I went muted. Yeah. Let me welcome Lofa Julius. Lofa, before I go back to Peabody and Lofa quickly, let me ask this question quickly. When we're hearing feedback, who is that?
It might be from me. Hold on, let me mute.
Okay, yeah. So, but the late Quincy D, right? Quincy
Yeah.
P,
Quincy B.
Quincy B. Yes, I heard that you guys were very close, and in fact, his I think his only child is with you. Tell me the relationship between you and the late Quincy B.
Yeah. Quincy was a young guy who did so much for Liberian entertainment, and I can remember when it, my Bealded entertainment, I had two artists from the beginning, and he gave my first two hit songs in Liberia. At that time when working with those two artists, I didn't, I was not making hit songs. I was just making songs for people to play. But when I worked with Quincy B, he gave me my first two hit songs, and that's how the Bealded entertainment today started to blow. So I held him as a brother. Uh, the same way when I direct him, he direct me, even though I was older than him. And he been in the entertainment before me, so I was learning from him. He was teaching me, and myself too, as a big brother, I will advise him on so many things as well. So, I mean, you can be older than someone, but you can learn from your younger one as well. So I opened that corridor for he and I to always be in communication. But a few years back, unfortunately, uh, he passed away, and we're still holding things in Liberia. We're still making sure the legacy continue. So I owe him so much. I owe him so much. The Bealded that people know today, it was because of him, because he gave me my first two his song to my first two artists. So that respect will always be there for him.
Peabody, peace to his blessed memories.
Well, thank you, thank you. It takes a person with a heart to rather do that. Many times when friends and best friend of the past, it's almost impossible that they will look back on their friends' kids and say, I'm going to adopt this kid and do it. Liberians are good at coming when the person passed. Everybody going to pot up at the house and cry, and right after the funeral, you had to see them. So I want to commend you for
Thank you.
that. I want to hear from you now, Mr. Bealded. What are some of the long-term goals of the station? What are some of your plans long-term for the station?
When I first took over, we're now in every county. So it was my bound duty to work that out. And especially way before my father's contested in Nimba. So when I took over, I went and with the help, of course, from my father Musa Hassan Bedete, we established a sub branch in Secretary. That was way before he even thought about running. So we used that station to relay to, the rest of the station, for to be able to cover the 15 counties. Yeah, while doing so, we had a TV, our local TV. And these days, nobody watch local TV anymore due to technology. Everything is on the internet. So, in the next, let's say 2 to 3 years, my plan is to bring the television back because if you see in my background, you can see Truth FM Real TV. The Real TV was there, but unfortunately, lightning struck one time, you know, burned the whole system. And
Wow.
since then, since then I've not been able to raise the money,
Wow.
to be able to cover that. But even if I raise the money, nobody watch local TV anymore. So my
Right.
plan is to we have a local over there. You got for I left on the ever since. Charles did that.
Chatter?
What is
It's
no
now
no no.
Spectrum. It's now Spectrum.
Okay, like the way you got different
Depending, yeah,
different
depending
dishes.
on which state is that. Charter, Spectrum,
Okay.
Brightspeed. They're under the
Uh,
same umbrella.
exactly. So in Liberia, we're gonna get two, TSTV or Satcom. So so TSTV don't take local Liberian, station. I don't know why, and yet we still allowing it in our country. The
So
country is
why
funding
they
it.
don't take local Liberian stations?
I don't know. The people that are in charge, they're the ones should be able to rectify that. How will you have a whole you know
Cable network.
cable network like that in your country? We are there subscribing to it, but there is no Liberian content. It doesn't make sense at all. We talk about it, but nobody want to pay attention to it. And this guy used that money that we pay to him and run for presidency. All the time. Whenever there's election, he comes up,
Simeon
you
Fremont.
know, to contest. And this is the country that we live in. It's wrong, but who going to take that action? But you see, Satcom, there are so many Liberian stations on Satcom. Hard FM, Hard TV is there. So within a couple of weeks, actually, I won't say in few years, within a couple of weeks, uh, Truth FM Real TV will be on Satcom as well. So you can be home and be able to watch us, through your TV. It has been over 6 years since we established the Real TV. So in the nearest future, I want to be able to have my own, cable network. Yeah. So that's my plan. The more we work, the more money we make. Y'all see Real TV, cable network all across Liberia. Locally, because SACOM is not for Liberian, DSTV is not for. So
That is awesome. Let me go to Lofa. Let him come to question. But that's awesome. I think the vision, your long plan, especially having your own cable network, and that Liberians sometimes don't look beyond. And I'm glad that
yeah,
you can look beyond that, way beyond that, and, stuff
yeah,
like that.
thank
But
you.
let me bring Lofa in. Lofa might have some questions.
Hey, Mr. Bealded, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Good to have you on here. Um, as the young man you are, very inspiring. You and I had a conversation a while back. You probably don't remember this, but it was back then when you and what's the young man fell apart. Kobazi.
Yeah, yeah.
You and Kubasi fell apart. You and I had a phone conversation back then. I was still involved with uh, Mr. Paba when you and Kubasi
Okay.
fell apart. Yeah, I was still
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that time
yeah.
I was still managing Mr. Paba, and we the way you handle Kobazi situation, we talked about it, and you told me, you said, brother, you don't understand what it is. I started to admire, your level of maturity, and since then, you and I have not had a conversation before, but from the back, I kind of monitor your activity, even up to the time when Mr. Paba and I went our separate ways, and then he came up with the hit song, "That Love." It was just a month after we went our separate way, actually 2 or 3 months, actually, to be exact. But great to have you on here. Now, with that said, though, let me just ask you, what are you here as today? Are you here as Lai the politician, Lai the entrepreneur, Lai the CEO? What are you here as today? Because I want to be very careful as to how I dive into things tonight. So just clear that out for me. Are you here filling every hat, or what is it? What are you here as tonight?
Everywhere, every
Oh,
let's go the whole 9 yard. That's why I'm here.
great. Right. By
This
the
is
way,
like my official, my first interview since election. I've
okay.
been staying away from the spotlight, just try to recover and focus on myself, business, and they always say, you know, I tell everybody around me, when you are into a fight, somebody knock you, you fall down. They knock you or you fall down. When you're getting up, you take time, count from 1 to 10. By 5, you try to recalibrate. Before the man reach 7, you already thinking about okay, getting back to yourself. But whoever that get knocked down, you woke up quick. The next punch, trust me, you will not get it again. So, so I'm taking my time, trying to recalibrate, trying to think, how the election went, how can I focus on my family, how can I focus on my business, how can I, get back to my communities, how can I see my true friends or those that lied to me, all of those things are in, you know, the conversation. So yeah,
Well,
I'm in that
great.
moment right now.
I'm glad that you open up the corridor for everything and anything, and that's a good thing, And in addition to the fact that you have been successful, and through your success, let's be honest here, you have given some of us the opportunity to get our messages across to those in Liberia who may not have had the opportunity to really listen to us because you're on ground and through the media, right? The physical
Yes.
presence of the media, even though we have social media that is trending, but the physical presence of the radio station gave us that leverage to hopefully get our messages across to the rest of the country, and that's great. And you venture into politics, and you felt the result of it. You came back. Now I want to ask you, you are a young man who succeeded in the private sector. You follow your dad's footstep, like you said. Your dad is your mentor, and you admire him. He's your role model, and all of that. Why is it that? Why do you feel the need to get into politics, and what is it that triggered the desire to adventure into politics as compared to remaining where you are, especially when you stated earlier that that's the best place to be in the private sector? You love it, you're not dependent on government job, you're successful at it, but yet and still you chose to get into politics. There must have been something that triggered that decision. What is it, or what was it?
Wow, that's a very good question. Oh, let me just firstly, bring to the light that my father is my inspiration into everything that I do. Um, he he's a businessman. He's a politician. Growing up, I'm never in my father's face. We don't meet often. I don't go to him for advice or whatever the case may be. I'm someone who watch him, from a distance and try to work towards, his achievement because my father has done so much for this country and without being government, he has done so much. And what I hear in the street sometimes when I hear, I'm like, wow, this is awesome, this is great. So I started mine since 2012 without the ambition of being a politician. It's the same with my father. He has told me multiple times, he said, I'm not going to go into politics, the whole family. So it was never my plan to get into politics, but I realized that, man, you say you want to be a father, like your father. So now that, he's going into it, it's best, you go and learn too. So getting into politics, it was not something that was planned. You know, uh, uh, there are people who are, born politicians, And the born politicians are the one that will promise and not do. And I will tell anybody for that matter, if you have a businessman plays in politics, trust me, he will do extremely well because he's not depending on government money. He try to improve it. And Musa Hassan Benedict today is a living testimony. He got into politics not because what's in it. Yeah, I'm sure he got colleagues that got in it to get from it. So everything you see him doing, he just want to change Liberia. So it was something that I wanted to do. In my district, I've been in Pins over so many years. Living. I've been here since 2005, going back and forth. When I was in the States, when we get on vacation, I come back. After vacation, I go back to school, and later on move 2012 to continue the journey. So I want to talk to my father. I got into politics to be able to help people. Currently, I'm helping so many people without having to be in government. And do you know there are a lot of politicians today, they are in position. I can challenge you. There is nothing you can attach to them to say, oh yeah, this person is doing this. They're just popular for no reason. Just think about it. Call names and say, but how do we know this guy? At least we can call liability and say, oh, liability, oh no, this guys, he been helping young people from day one. Oh, liability, he's doing this, he's doing that. Or Musa Belete, wow, that's more than I'm doing, Nima. These are things that we want to speak on. But how many lawmakers or senators you can point to and say, oh, this person is doing this person is doing that? I'm just speaking the truth. The records are there. That's why I don't involve myself with so many politicians. I might be friendly with any of them because I don't like what is going on. They just, time for election, they come, they do their things, and at the end of the day, they get elected. You ask yourself again, why did we elect that man? Okay, we elected him. What is he doing? I can challenge you today. Name our representative or senator and say, oh, he doing XYZ, and Liberia as a whole knows. I can be right here. I'm in Painesville. You ask anybody in Liberia, and I say Painesville or District 4, they will tell you about liability. In my lay private sector, what I've been doing. So you ask about Musa Belete, same thing they will tell you. That man has been doing this, you do this. That's how it is. But you go ask some of your current senators and representatives, just call that name. They will tell you, I just senator will not know what you're doing. And I always say this, Liberians love politicians. They love politicians. They don't like the truth. They don't like people who have the heart, who have the desire. But thank God I was not doing it for the money. So I was not hurt when I lost. I was just like, okay, I lost. We'll get back on the horse again. We'll try. There are people, who supported us. Let me just say, and imagine being able to be the talk of the whole district. You didn't win, and I never had a pool washer. That's another story. You never had a pool washer, but you came fourth. Just calculate. I should have been last, since I never had a pool washer, but we came fourth. We thank God. For someone the youngest in the race and be able to come up to that level, I think it's a blessing. It's a blessing to me, and I believe that the next time, oh no, I'm gonna do better. We never have finals compared to the person who won, but he won because of certain, he played his game right. It was good. I congratulated him, and I'm grateful that at least the district, it's in his hands for sometimes until I take over.
Okay, and I listening to your narrative, right? You emphasize on the fact that your dad is in politics and you desire to help Liberian more. But what I was looking for was that that aha moment that got you to say, as a young man, understanding, especially due to the fact that you said you just, left from here, from the States, very often in the Western world, politicians identify specifics, okay, and say, okay, this is where my country is failing. And this is where I want to fill in that gap. Okay. And once you are opportune to serve, then you start to to pursue that. I did not hear you tell me this is what triggered you to actually get into politics. I heard you speak of the work of your dad. Are you simply just adventuring in this field because your dad appeared to be successful in it, and for that reason you also want to do it, or you just want to be a humanitarian and you think that the best way to impact lives is through your presence in government? Is that what I'm understanding from you?
No, not really. Please
Okay,
don't
so help me
change my words
understand
too.
what is it?
No, matter of fact, my father and I were running the same time. Matter of fact, I decided to run in District 4 before he announced that you're running District 7 Nimba.
Mhm.
Let me be very frank with you. That is what, well, it's on record on that. I decided to run first. When I went there for his blessings, I went to him. I didn't even ask. I just told him, I said, hey boss, um, I was petitioned to run in District 4. What do you think? He said, but can you make it? I said, yeah, I can make it. And he himself is proud of me that I was able to reach this far. But I just spoke in general when I said there are people who are elected in Liberia who got position today. You and I cannot point to anything in the society that they have done. And you can drop this call right now and call anybody in Liberia. You yourself, you know about myself, you know about liability. We want to go and change the narrative. It's not about getting into the position and be signing, bogus deal. You know, it's all about Liberians. It's all about Liberia. We should put the country first. I never had any plans say, oh, Lai will win, Lai going win election and then try to enrich himself. No, I'm not rich, yeah, but the little I'm able to do, at least I'm doing it. I'm not in government now. I'm doing things. You understand? So this is why people trusted me in my district. I didn't tell them, oh, when I win, I will do this. When I win, I will do this. I went there and asked, what can we do? We need this light. I said, okay, we started working. The records are there. That's why people trusted me. That's why when I mean, Tomalin George was there. Ask him. You go anywhere in District 4. I'm not just limited in District 4. Across Liberia, Painesville in general. So if you have somebody who has been doing something like this in the private sector, if you give him the opportunity, the same opportunity that so many people got, people had in the past and now they are in position. I won't refer to my father again before you shoot me again. But that opportunity, we're not gonna go and beg for it. We're not gonna go and cheat for it. We're gonna do everything possible to serve this government. As today's date, I'm the Painesville ambassador. How I got it? Based on my previous work since 2012. You understand? They called me and said, oh, like we want to certificate you for being the ambassador of Painesville. I asked why. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know I've been doing this. I didn't even know people have been watching. And which of course I'm grateful. It's not something that I apply for. You have a big country with so many potential, but it seems like we just having that same people just circling. For the past, I don't know how many years, we still have the same government officials. How can we change that? They will not do anything in that district, but time for election, watch them. And our people still doing the same thing. They're still electing the same old people. So I'm not gonna, go back in election making promises. No, every promise I made was, I was able to deliver. So I didn't go, oh, when I win, I will do this. When I win, I will do this. No, 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 no. There's so much for young people. I want young people to grow. Since I've been like RCI is an example. I work with so many young potential people. They are now in government. Some of them are, running their own private things. The records are there, Chief. me being popular in the country, I just didn't come and start spreading money. What kind of money I get? It's just by, you know, doing what I have to do to help the society. So I don't want to come and tell you, Chief, this is what I've done, that. No. The records are there.
Okay.
But if you ask me towards it, yeah, I will tell you.
Quick, let me, before I jump into the trending news of the day, let me welcome Sylvester Pewee to the platform. But before I jump to the news of the day, let me ask you quickly. Perhaps you just explain to all what happened. I was in Liberia. In fact, before I even met you, my family lives in your district, and as I was going through the district, your name was all over the place. In fact, I watched your launching in the States before I went to Liberia. When I got to on the ground, I visited the district, and everywhere I went, like. So I said, who will win? Is it like? But what really went wrong? How come? How come the result? Well, the result that you got. What really happened? You felt? Do you think you were cheated? Do you think or you were outspent? What really happened?
Oh, I don't want to cry wolf. I don't want to talk about, oh, I was cheated. I think I said a little bit about that. I said a little bit to Julius Jallah. You know, again, I never had pool washer. Didn't. What helped me a little bit, I was able to use Truth FM tag to be able to move from place to place. You know, some of my employees had it. But to say I had pool washers, no, I did not. Was it my fault? No. It was the fault of the party that I ran under. They promised that there will be pool washers at the place.
Who's your party? CPP or CPP, right?
Yes, CPP. CPP. Trust me, I came took out to be able to cook for the 300 plus pool washers, you know, that was supposed to be at the Vera Pooling Center.
Wow.
But I cooked. My wife was the one that cooked. Put it, you know, in the styrofoam, you know, to go bags. We went to various places, couldn't find anybody. And people started calling me, but Chief, like, to this place, you get nobody, or to this place, you get nobody. Even at a point where I was able to gather some of my toilet paper. Watch this funny thing. I was able to gather some of my toilet paper, you know, put it as an evidence because all the places we found and we had my people there with the Truth FM tag, and we were able to win those places. So I was able to keep those paper as evidence. At my house, while having meeting, you know, we all decided to say, okay, let's meet and discuss what happened and how can we move and this and that and that. We started talking about how is it that in this room that we had True FM reporters and making sure that things are going good, we were able to win, but the places that we never had people who lost. So compare all of those documents. Now, just imagine the next day I couldn't find those documents.
Wow.
So I even Jay to tell you I have bug within my, you know, in my group. The
Wow.
guy playing the guy that won, he had a bug within my group. So they took all of those photos and carry it. So I have no evidence as well. So I had just accept everything. I said, okay, I was a target, and you know, I didn't cry about it. I know that I was the target. Even now, you know, the way things are going, I'm being mentioned in the district, which of course I'm grateful. Like I said, it was a learning experience. Um, I'm not talking about, you know, it being a foul play. Congratulations to him. I hope you do well. And we here. The people will decide who to pick next. If you say you are the district leader, do what you have to do as the leader. You know, don't have people complaining. You know, because I receive calls now and then. I tell the people I'm resting. I'm resting. I worked strictly 3 years. You know, 3 years straight. So after election, what we already have district leaders, then I'm gonna go away again and be in competition. No. I'm taking a break to focus on my family, to focus on my job, to focus on new friends, and to recalibrate and come back.
Well, it's a good learning experience. I mean, when I decide to run in Liberia, my poll watcher will be my number one priority, because honestly to really agree with you. When I went to vote in Habel, where I voted, there were no poll watcher from your party. Nobody there. I think I only saw somebody from CDC and UP at where I voted in Habel. So I think that was something, but I hope you learn from it, and because I think you invested a lot into it. But let's jump quickly.
I have friends. I have friends from different parties what are watching out for me, but they could not take any. They couldn't take my paper. But they just listened. They had their own paper. They all brought out fewer copy books, so we're able to tally it. You know, we have the original number. I have my evidence. You know, they are in keeping. So waiting for the next election so I can use it on him. You know, as you know, to create another debate.
I wish you best wishes in on that process, because I'm sure you will make a good lawmaker.
Oh, I guarantee you, I'll do it. I guarantee you.
Let me jump straight before I bring Pewee and Peabody back there and Lofa. Let me jump straight on the trending issue of the day. When this 55th legislature took office, took seat, your dad, he initiated this issue of audit. He's the one that brought the audit that to ensure that the legislature should be audited, and where the noise started from. But today, you have all day today we've been monitoring what's happening. And you have 3 blocks in the legislature. The rescue block, 34 members, the CDC block, 24, and the independent block, 15. And today, we learned that they already started taking signatures to remove the speaker. And it's intensifying to the extent where, but they need 49. And like I said in my opening, there's no way the speaker who hails from the CDC can be removed unless the CDC lawmakers are part of it. Because they don't have the votes to remove him. I don't think they have the votes to remove him. So because independent block, from what I gather, they are strictly in the speaker's camp. So that means the only way the rescue block can succeed is if they have CDC lawmakers joining them. What's your thoughts about what's happening? Like, people say, okay, Musa started, and we today have given him a very good name. People talk about it. His work at the legislature. He's been open for audit, which we all support, Liberians support it. But what's your thoughts on what's happening today that they attempt to remove the speaker again? They remove speaker during early administration. Tyler removed during early administration. But Chambers survived during the Weir administration. But now they're trying to remove Speaker Kofa and the Boga administration. What's your thoughts about this whole issue about removal of speaker?
Oh, that's to me?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, the House of Representatives, we have most of the leaders over there, they are all sedition. And I'm pretty sure Funate Kofa, who is the speaker now, was supported by sedition. I may not give you any detail what's going on, you know, under the water, but I think it's impossible, you know, to be able to remove him because CDC can, that CDC have the most black. So if they allow it to happen, then, then I mean they betray their leader who is in the House of Representatives. So I can give you more detail myself. I did not follow much today.
Peabody?
Yeah, let me give Pewee a chance. He just come. He haven't spoken, but let me give him a chance.
Thank you. Thank you, Peabody, and I always believe in your tenacity. Yes, I shake you. I love the yesterday you say, but you are an extraordinary man, and I respect you. Lai, let me say, good to see you again. Back, when you took over at the head of the Renaissance Communication Network, some of us. Normally, that's our home. We normally appear, even when before you came in, we were already part of the process. And I saw your innovation basically in terms of when you brought about this issue about the face of Painesville. I've never attended most of those activities until you started the whole process about the face of Painesville. We will come and you try to recruit, and you brought one thing I observed at the time. You brought what we call the personal talent to bear. Was not the basis of the beauty, but you try to inculcate and infuse a mechanism that will talk about the young ladies of Liberia exhibiting their talent and their intelligence. That's one of the things I observed from what you started doing. And you price most of those things that were given to them as prize. They will move around and be very proud of that. I took note, and our movement, the Neo Progressive, took very key note of those kind of things unfolding in the country, right? We thought there was a time it became required. Me approached you when I appeared, that I was appearing as a guest on 2FM. And I said, hey, you need to extend this. I jokingly said, you need to extend this as Face of Lofa. We all laugh about it and the rest of it. But I thought that was very good, and you should continue this kind of a process. And I mean, that is the footprint and the kind of a legacy that you left, and those kind of legacy is going to endure continuously. Another thing I observed, and your role you play in the elections. I can recall I was on Crossfire one other time. We discussed there along with Christopher Sirleaf. As to, I predicted, I thought you were coming in the picture, you're going to create a lot of stir in the whole district, District 4. And I've gone deeply into District 4 and try to do some deep analysis and track the pools. And a little bit, I thought you were going to come second, but again, our prediction didn't come right, came fourth. But again, what I said, that this election, 23 election, was not going to be the election for Ability, but I believe 2029 election is going to be something you're going to overwhelmingly win. And you set the basis already. So we are involved basically in looking at the demography of the district, looking at the deep side of it, the Dupuru side, the Zubatan side, going deep across towards deep into the FDA community, the side of it. There's a lot of huge population in those areas that I thought you make some very serious mark. The last time in Liberia, most of them spoke very widely of you, particularly marking women. That small macro thing you did for them, right? And I spoke with them, and they were very passionate about it. If you don't know, let me say this to you. One of them they told me, say, my son, there's another young man. They say, oh, that Musa Bede's son, but no, than that. He's so passionate, and he talks soft, or when he talks to us, say, your heart can calm down. He started giving us small money to do business. They took note of that. And let me hail you for that personally, that intervention did a lot of transformation. That's a woman that said she paid her son's school fees for the kind of the petty intervention you did. That's the widow mat. And actually, it resonated a lot, and it's still resonating with them. One thing I will say to you, 2029, you got one person that's going to be serving as a protege to your campaign. Trust me, I will serve as a surrogate to that campaign, and we'll make sure that you got the line to do it. Yeah, I've been part of that district before, and you play a very major role. And the fact that you the head of a very major entertainment and information network in the country. 2FM has played a tremendous role since 2005, when 2FM was launched from across the bridge. Across there, when we were launched, they have played a very important and informative role in our democracy. So it's important to recognize those kind of things and push it. You have one of the longest tower, and that's why you said the signal. We took note of all those things and what you've been doing. So for me, I get no question for you. I've been observing your role you play, and I've seen what impactation it's done for the local people in the area. So continue the process. Yeah, I like what you said just now. Take some break. Pay attention to the family. Pay attention to the job. By late 2027, you will have recalibrated, and now you redirect your attention on the political process. That's my suggestion. Late 2027, you pay some attention and you begin the process. But now what you do some suspended intervention. There'll be some time, the suspended intervention will be sometimes people will not expect what you're doing. You just jump and say, oh, we do the kind of line, but you're not going to put full time to it. That would be what I would advise and other things. But whenever I'm in the country, I will pay a courtesy visitation to you, and we'll have some conversation about those kind of things. I believe you can be, and I want to think you will be even more than your father. You know, there's this story we read before. Yeah, I want to believe you'll be more than your father, and that would be a proud legacy of him, right? Seeing a reflection, that's the completion point. So you reflecting your father's legacy and trying to push the legacy beyond that. I believe you can be, and that's the kind of a training he instilled in you. That's the discipline he instilled in you, and you're going to multiply those kind of a discipline moving forward. So I just want to say to you, we've been observing it, being as myself a political person and one that have agitated on behalf of the folks across the country. I've been observing that very keenly, and so let me say thank you to you, and that's all for now. I will say, and I will wait for all to join into the parties. But let me salute your service to the country.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
A lot have been said. CEO ability. A lot have been said, and the race. When you're in a race, you expect to fall down and get up. You will lose, but your ability to come back is what's going to make you strong. I guess you have seen, you have saw everything that happened the first time. Now you can learn, evaluate, and come back to the table. And I think you will make a group. As a young man, you're running such a big network that goes everywhere in the country, and people know about it, and how you have maintained it even through challenging times. You have been able to maintain it. You name nobody out there, nobody is characterizing you in a different way, calling you, So I think you stand among great leaders, future leaders, and I listen to your vision as well as having your own cable network, and that's a great vision. You can work towards it, but I don't want to mix you into the politics. I want to keep, the few time you have with us left. I don't want to mix you into politics. You came here, wanted to talk about the network, want to know what's going on in the network and stuff like that. And you appear to have said it all. I mean, what I can say is that I wish you all the best. We at the Closing Argument stand to support you in any way we can help to improve the network and what we can do. If there's something that we can work with you on from this side, let us know. We will stand with you. We'll support the network because we believe you have done a great job in maintaining the network, and that especially it's not only based in Monrovia, but every part of Liberia people here through FM. So I want to thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry,
And I promise the closing
Right.
argument team. Shortly, you'll be watched on Satcom, so
Oh,
that at least
wow, that's big.
you will not
Thank
you will
you.
not just be on Facebook, on YouTube. Now you'll be mentioning that we are also on Satcom.
Oh, wow.
Channel. Didn't get my channel yet, but I'm working on it. So those that are home in Liberia, they will not complain about internet anymore. You just got to tune into your Satcom station free of charge. You'll be able to watch the closing argument.
Incredible.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the encouragement. I will do my best, to keep on the station and other stuff.
Johnny, you want to contribute? Go and contribute. Johnny K and Debbie. Mutero.
You said something about one Oma that paid a child school fee. I did not. Honestly, I did it ever since until she met me one time in the street. She explained the whole scenario, but I forgot. Then she said later on, that cool people can do that kind of thing. They can always forget what they do for people. But if somebody wants something from you, they will always remember it and come to you for you to repay them.
Yeah.
Then I said, oh, man, I owe you nothing. It's just that you came to me, and the fact that you told me that your child was going through this and that, I had it, so I helped. So I don't need anything back. And she actually helped me campaign. Things I did years before, election. So she helped me campaign. So I'm grateful to her help. She gave.
Yeah. And she believed that her generation, her friends, other market women friends, and other thing will be part of everything you're gonna do. No, I mean she said that. She
my
said
market women there.
Yeah, and that's why
I
you
got it
indelible
back.
mark. You left an indelible mark on that process, and let me remind you of that. Yeah, on a serious note.
Johnny, you got any question for Mr. Bealded?
Mr. Bealded, thank you so much. I'm Johnny Ndebe. I'm just like 500 meters away from the Truth FM Indo station. Let me say thank you as a young man that is leading such media enterprise in Liberia. For me, I'm a generational person, so I believe that the young people, your age group, your generation, this is your generation. You guys have to play your best part you can play to ensure that Liberia becomes a better place. It is your generation that will have to take this country, even if it's not now, but in the next decade or two, it is your generation. You, Lofa Julius, and the rest of it, this is your generation. Those of us that fall in the generation of the 60s, we are going away. I mean, 10 from now, we'll be in our 70s, you know. And why should we be competing with you for position when we are retiring to be sitting and just allowing you guys to come and take over, manage society for us, give us a better social security? So for me, I have a passion for young people who are in leadership, who are entrepreneurs, who are innovative, and very, very creative. I don't see people based on how much book you know, it's how much can you do to impact your society, your community. And just to make you let you know something, I travel a lot in this country, and I saw a radio station in Maryland County, they called Barabo in Waja. These guys, young people, put a station together with anything available to their advantage. And what I admire about them so much, and I try to set it out, is that they do concomitant broadcast. Meaning, if the guy says hello in English, he said in Grebo. I mean, like the guy is speaking the Grebo and the English together. And I was so excited. I said, I wish our national station should have such kind of program that people will admire. You know, like people go on the radio, he say your hello in English, he says hello in Loma, and whatever he says in English, he himself repeats it into Loma. You know what I'm saying? So it was so interesting. So I hope, and no, I get to introduce it to you. Maybe your program people can think about how you can add some value, some interest in your related programming that will make True FM a very strong and people center, people oriented program station. But thank you so much. On the political side, I mean, I've also experienced the pinch of election defeat. Pewee there, my own brother, he failed support me in Lofa. All the way I beg him support me. He told the person to follow me and someone guy because someone guy that uncle. I ran around Lofa. I visited 113,000 Lofa. Back to back, my brother. I couldn't eat rice.
Oh,
I would eat
you ran.
And you wonder why I can't get along with Pewee.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, Judah.
Well,
Unfortunately, I know why
Johnny,
go in politics, especially when you go with an open mind. You go with an open mind. You go with determination to go and win and serve. Look, when people are campaigning to win elections to serve, the campaign party pattern is different. Those who campaign in election just to get the power and benefit from the power, their campaign pattern is different. I know that. I observe it. I was so committed. I made sure I wanted to go in every community, tell people in the community what the job is about. What is my function as a senator if I win? How I'm out to serve you? What is your role in my function as a senator? I did that like a classroom teaching from town to town. I went to 113 towns in Lofa County on both motorcycle and on my jeep. I was on number 8 on the ballot. I remain number 8 on the ballot. I didn't go high, I didn't go low.
but
So,
yes,
anyway,
Johnny.
Hey, but man, wait, people, I beg you, give me chance. My uncle.
No, I just want to tell you something quick before you continue, please. And because don't miss it from the platform. And I told you we had a conversation before. I told you the key to Lofa County in terms of the senatorial. When I made my debut into the campaign in Lofa County,
I agree.
When I made my campaign, the debut, I served as the spokesperson of Sumo Kupi campaign, and he won heavily 2005. Then very young, almost in my late teens, right? We set the record. I told you, whenever you want to contest in Lofa, call me. You didn't call me. I didn't even know you were any contest in Lofa. I almost saw your knee, and I saw how they beat you behind.
Okay, but anyway, that's it. I mean, and look, I heard you when I was driving getting home. Election is an added value. Even if you don't win an election, it brings value to you. You understand? Right now, Bealded is a stakeholder in district number 4 in Montreal County, and by extension, he has impacted the country through his station. So I had the experience. I was defeated, but I felt so proud that I took up issues with those who were responsible for the delay in the progress in Liberia and Lofa County. Let me end this thing. They had a debate organized. We were 11 candidates. 10 candidates refused to turn out. I was the only candidate that turned out to that debate in Vanyama Hall. And I spoke my mind. And another man came to me and said, my son, if the people of Lofa really know the value of this thing, you should be the one to win because you lifted our name. This debate was organized by a big organization. The other 10 people didn't come. You turn out to represent Lofa County here. But however, I was on number 8, so I come and said the Mayfield General. So I was number 8 on the ballot. I did not go to number 9. I did not go to number 10, but I remain number 8 in the election ended. So thank you. I mean, keep your courage as a young man. I mean, if you didn't succeed once to get what you wanted or what we want to do for your people, there are many ways to do. Right now, I'm playing many roles to help my people in Lofa. And any way out, whether I become senator or not, I'm doing what I have to do because service is about leadership, about service, and humanity is about people being lifted from that condition to the next level. Even if you can succeed to make one person's life to change, that one person life changing will impact a whole family. So thank you, young man. Keep it up. Do not allow people to change your direction. Whatever you're doing, you believe in it, keep going for it. So I don't have anything to ask you about what you're doing with the station. You're already making impact in the country. I mean, your station is all around Liberia. People listen to Truth FM 91.6. I mean, 6.1 everywhere in Liberia. So I mean, it's good that you keep it up. Like they said, we all gotta try to support each other. And I said yesterday on the show, the closing argument family. I see us for me. I couldn't build family, so I see us here now as a family because we don't know what next will come after this closing argument relationship we have. So thank you for allowing closing argument to be on your station, and I appreciate your energy, your effort into everything. We hope that one day I'll meet you one-on-one. I live rep. I mean, like I said, 500 meters away from True FM station. I'm sometimes I walk around there. You know, when Rasky was there, Rasky is my cousin or my brother, for a matter of fact. When he was there, and so visit him once in a while. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
Lofa, and then we'll allow our guest to give his parting.
Okay. Well,
Friend Lai also nobody asking. So you see that how Lai, you see, keep it up because imagine.
Don't say nobody asking though. I'm gonna ask Lai your question.
Johnny
No
gave
problem.
you fast, man. No, that means you really doing a good job, though. But anyway, Lofa, go ahead.
Okay. So, Lai, you know, I understand how everybody really wants you to, to continue to push, and I admire that. And then I would say to you, from a perspective of another young man, I will hope that you will not use your dad as the peak of your desire to success. Use him as a foundation. What am I saying? Everything that he had been successful at, use it to step up and go beyond, above and beyond. Because the way I look at things is our generation should not fail the generation to come after us. Okay? We are taxed, and our responsibility is beyond imagination. You spoke about the continuous recycling of politicians who have shown no desire to excel or to innovatively move Liberia forward. So in order for us to move Liberia forward, you must look above and beyond, regardless of how other people see you or view your perspective on things. It should be about what you see for Liberia and not what you see for an individual or a group of people, because that is how our community, our society, and our politics. And that's why I coined the statement politicians, and I referenced a lot of the folks who represent us at the House level as legislators. Reason being, they are not there to honestly represent the interests of the masses. They are simply there to benefit themselves. So when a young man like yourself see reason to step up and represent the people, I don't want you to put a limit to your desire to excel, because here is the thing. Barack Obama, he did not see reason to hold himself based on the pigment of his skin. Okay? He saw reason to represent our generation, the generation to come after us, and the minority. So I want you to look above and beyond and set set the bar hard for yourself. That's why I'm saying go beyond your dad, because your dad thus far is doing tremendously well. There were so many scandals that may have been stated about your dad, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of it. There was a time where even some of us, we were very skeptical and critical of your dad when the issue of the FIFA thing came up. Okay, we questioned his sincerity, we questioned his integrity, but after his ascendancy to that position, and I can probably say, like some of us, we did that. Okay, we would not run away from our decision. Okay, we held him accountable, and today he continued to put us against the wall and say, I told you I did not come here to enrich myself. All of his actions, his performance is shown above and beyond. So it leaves a lot of us speechless. Now we can only commend him going forward. And that does not negate the fact that we would not criticize him when there is need to criticize him. If he stepped out of boundary, he will be heavily criticized because we as a generation, we have a reason to leave Liberia or leave behind a better Liberia. And that's why some of us saw reason to support the now referenced dark light, whom all of us refer to as the light. And today you see how furious a lot of people are becoming every day. So we are looking for light minds. We're looking for bright minds to hopefully step up in the limelight to move Liberia forward. And I want you to say this and see this as a reason to work harder, think bigger, dream bigger, so that all of us together can fight the status quo. Because some of us got here today, it wasn't easy for us to sit in the midst of the likes of, I'm sitting here today with St. Tomalin George and other permanent Liberian politicians, Pewee, all of these people, we were told we knew nothing about Liberian politics. Okay, we deserve not to be talking about it because we knew nothing, but we saw the bigger picture, and the bigger picture was Liberia. And today we can sit on a platform where we can make sure our voices are heard, regardless of what they claim we knew or did not do for Liberia. So I want you to challenge yourself. Don't think you have gotten what you want until you can get above and beyond. So continue to do that, and we will continue to challenge you. I was just going through my messages, and I noticed the last message you and I had. I said, well, I will send you another message again. But bro, I want to say to you, continue to do what you're doing for the network. Based on my capacity, we're talking it back. But other than that, just remember that some of us are out here, and we will continue to criticize you, but constructively if you go anywhere contrary to what is expected. And the same thing will be done to your dad. But other than that, we appreciate your generosity and the continuous support that for Liberia by even allowing us to sit on your platform to do what we're doing. So thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Lahi Kehleboe, the CEO, Director General of RCI. It's been a pleasure having you tonight. People have gotten to know more and more about you. I'm getting messages how you soft talking and again, like you said, when you get to his office, you won't know if you're not careful. You're that papa here. You think he's one of the low level guy, but he just quiet in his corner, and he's not the person that makes sense. Oh, I'm the boss here, no, and so forth. But that's his nature. And thank you so much. Again, it was a pleasure having you. We look forward to you coming frequently, so we can talk more and more as you make progress in whatever you are doing. And again, best wishes in your future endeavors. And Liberian people want to hear you make your parting comments and tell us what next on your mind. Thank you so much, bro.
Yes, thank you to everyone for your different kind of advice you just gave me, and thank you for your support as well. I will keep on doing what I'm doing, and to see Liberia move to the next level, in the nearest future. But I just want to make something clear a little bit to my friend and brother Julius. I'm grateful to God that my father is on this earth, and I get to learn from him. There are not a lot of people today that can say that. So when you see me talking about how I'm learning about him, how I'm learning from him, I think it brings me joy to still have my father on earth doing great things, and I learn from him, because the situation or the future plans I have, I get to learn from him. As much as, yes, creating my own path. Anybody that you know today, they will tell you don't see Lai and Musa Bilifuleta. I watch my father from distance. I watch how he moves. I say to myself, like, don't be like him, but be better than him. If you're gonna be like him, fine, but strive to be better than him. At this young age, when I go places, oh, like Bealded, Musa Bealded's son, they recognize me for that. Sometimes it's like Bealded, hey, Musa Bealded's son. That alone is something that that drives me, to keep doing more. Um, Me saying that I want to be like my father doesn't mean that anything that he does, that I have to do it. No. But I'm happy that he's alive, that I can learn from him, that I can do so much for him to sit today and say, oh, I'm proud of my son. You understand? So everything that I'm doing today, at least my father is not hearing any negative things about liability. Everything I'm doing without asking for his approval, but he hear positive things about me. So that even though my father he barely praised any of us, me and my brother, he never say, "Oh, I'm proud of it." Never. We don't expect it from him. So, but when we're doing it, at least we don't hear anything, anything bad to say, "Oh, like what you're doing is wrong" or X, Y, Z. But when he quiet, he doesn't talk to us. But at least we're doing our best to help the society. So I listen to you. Trust me, my brother. This coming election, 2029, I will come back on the closing argument for you to help me raise funds because this was something
Now
that
you gonna get my
really, really
support.
played. Everywhere I go, that must have been some whatever that make money. So I'm like, no, I'm not him, but I still have to live up the legacy. I still have to do what I have to do as a man to maintain my people. I didn't go run my father. No, come on, let's be honest for it. Let's be honest. As Musa Bealded put a hand in anything, it become unsuccessful. I won't question that. No, this guy is. I don't know how many are all in election. So he winning as well brought joy to me, even though I lost. And he's somebody who I look up to. So a lot of people didn't know that. Oh, like why why you're not vexed? Why you're not sad? You're not losing weight? I said it was a great experience. My father won, and I'm grateful. Let's look up. We are still young. All my team members, we are still young. So let's look, forward to the next episode. So today, thank you so much for inviting me. It means a lot. This closing argument will remain forever on Truth FM. And I promise you, in the nearest future, you will be on SATCOM. That's something that I'm working on right now. By the grace of God, I'm still trying to, put money together to help some of the equipment. But shortly in the next, let's say by next month, you'll be on SATCOM.
Hey, like I need to know the trick to having my artist to release the hit single like your artist been doing. I need to know that. But I can't. I'm not telling you my artist name though. Before you go get it from me.
No, this is something that I've been instead to as a 12.
I know. I'm just messing with you though.
Yeah.
I don't have
So
an artist right now.
promoting
I'm not dealing
promoting
with
song
no
is
more.
just like 1, 2, 3 for me now.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have to talk. I need to know the trick to that because I definitely want to get my
bring somebody who don't have talent. Say, give me 3 months, they become hit artists.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the records are there. I told you,
No, you're
anything
right.
about liability, I have record on everything.
You're
Ask
right.
anybody, there is no artist when I put my hand beyond in few months you see them popular. Not just their face, but there's a popular songs playing everywhere.
I hear it somewhere.
Like in Dennis today,
Who?
a kid who were rapping on his birthday,
Dennis.
and he mentioned my name. Our in politics at that time, I received about 400 tags on that video. 400 human being tagged me. Like I said, I'm not signing any artist. I'm busy with politics until my interpreter called me. Like the people tagging you on some kind of post, go reply. I say, Omar, I'm not going. I'm tired. Let me focus on politics. So the following day, I kept receiving tag. I said, oh, let me get listen to the guy. And even though I'm in politics, but I try to live in the team, and it brought me back. So yeah, now.
Now the talents are out there though. Sometimes listen to some of these
Yeah,
young
but
people.
no investment, no
yeah,
money.
it's not there. Yeah,
Putting
I
money,
agree.
nothing will get him back.
Like when I listened to Papa hit after we separate, I'm like, damn, I should have been patient with this kid. But you know, yeah, it felt off.
But you know, the promotion of that love, oh, he and I, we work together.
Oh, you
I didn't
did?
know your
Yeah.
manager. Yeah, you know, work together. Because my thing is, I move from club to club.
Mhm.
As much as forget my position, I move from club to club, nightclub to nightclub, radio station to radio station. I leave from Maserado, I go Grand Paso, I go all the various radio stations across Liberia to promote my music. But some people just say one place and say they're promoting it. That's not how it's done. You gotta move if you want things to happen.
Wow. Lai capability. Thank you so much, Lai. Thanks for what you do for our people and what you're doing in the team and business industry. And I can imagine how this boy lived. I would tell people, I don't do that born until he died. As I listen to his music, Quincy B, and he would have been way up there. Maybe you are going more far international. He was a gifted guy, and just peace to his blessed memory. He left us too soon. But again, Lais, we say thank you, and we look forward to continuing working along with you, and we hope to see you again in not too distant future. Thank you so much, Lais.
Thank you so much.
Well, guys, good to have Lais. He's a guy who behind the scene and keep us going every day. He makes sure that we are on every day, and it was just good to hear from him too. And we're happy that we know what he's doing in his life too, and wishing his best. But guys, before the show, when you guys came on, I said I had a message for CDC lawmakers, and I said it, and I'll re-echo the message. I'm calling the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Falla, to come forward. I'm calling the head of the Legislative Caucus, not Senator McGill, to break silence, to come forward. Shouldn't wait for the meeting tomorrow. To come forward and speak on what's happening is just it's troubling that they are trying. Some members within the CDC caucus are engaging attempt to remove the Speaker of the House, and that Speaker is come from that block. As I said, they have 3 blocks in the House: the Rescue Block, that's of the ruling party, and you have the CDC block and the Independent block. The Rescue Block got about 34 members, the CDC block 24, and the Independent block 15. And it is just mathematically impossible to remove the Speaker unless the CDC block some members defect to be part of it. And I'm happy that it's all because of our democracy. You don't want to have one party just dominating all the branches of the government. You see America today. You see the Senate is in the hands of the Democrat, just by a tiny majority, because if only Kamala Harris can break the tie. That's why you see when the Senate right now in the House, that Republicans are there by the skin of their teeth, and Mike Johnson cannot afford to lose and then two members. Because he should have been removed. The Democrats saved him. They see the Democrats saving. You see, but by his own caucus. So in Liberia today, what's happening? Full guy on the show, we're on a call, and they are saying they have 47 signatures already. They need 49 to remove the Speaker. And or then somebody said they are playing some politics, pretending to have that numbers of signature, and they will say, "Oh, we got 45. We need a few more. You can't join us." That's what's been going on, and it's all about audits, all because they talk about auditing the legislature. We have seen millions of dollars have gone through that body over the last couple of years, and most of them who are involved, they serve on the Ways and Means Committee, and as a result, if any audit come through that body, the hands will be caught in a cookie jar. So now they are fighting against it, and we hearing money is being dished out. And like I said, those who are involved, they will be caught out. They'll be caught out because it's just not fair for our democracy. And it's good that we have you guys on the platform tonight, and we want to hear from you guys to give your perspective. At least let us take the remainder of the time to talk about this. But again, I say as I bring in Peabody now, Lofa will come in, then Pewee, then Johnny. Before I bring Lofa in, I will say again, Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala, if you're listening to this program, which I know you are, come forward and break your silence. Senator McGill, you have the caucus in the legislature. Come forward. Assure the people that you guys will not allow one party to dominate the government of Liberia. You will remain, have a check balance system in the legislature. The speaker is on he's on a foreign trip with the president in Italy, and you guys are trying to, members of the caucus are trying to find your own leader. But Lofa, wait.
So quickly, regarding the decision on the part of CDC lawmakers to even go against their own their own partisan is scary. This speaks to the fact that these individuals can be spineless, okay, and it is scary because if I'm to question what is going on here, I'm wondering what is really happening. What is the public interest? I'm not here to defend fanatical. Let's be honest on this on this particular part. I am yet to see or hear of anything that he have done that should prevent his removal. But is it because few people feel like they need to control every aspect of the governance of the state? Is that why they're doing it? Because it happened during Ellen's time, okay? And now other people want to do it. You want to mimic the same thing because guess what? It works to your advantage when the people who voted you into office, okay, when these people are yet to be shown why you were elected in the first place, you're not doing anything. So I think the people to hear from should be the folks on ground. We can give our perspective, but I think folks should be allowed to call in and really give their view on this deceptive nature of our politicians and those who are part of the legislators, because they're not working in the interest of the people. I did not support Kofa's position as the speaker. I did not. But to see him just see them wanting to just move him in such a clandestine manner, it simply speaks to the fact that these guys have no desire to move Liberia forward, even if this man had a change of mind and said, let us work and bridge the gap. Let us create opportunity to apply good governance and logic in our leadership. They're not doing it. It's all about greed, selfishness, and it's sad. And I'll stop on that note. Emric, let me say Emric.
Pewee.
Tomalin, did you get my message?
Let me see. Let me check. Pewee.
Yes. So we're talking about the
yeah, we're talking about the decision to remove the speaker. Yes.
Let me, and I said it yesterday, and I was more or less amplifying this process, and I believe that, and let me categorically state here that process alone, to just hear in the grapevine that there's a decision in the pipeline to do that in a more corrupt line is condemnable. Let me categorically state here that in the past time we've exposed those kind of an issue about removing our leaders in those kind of unorthodox means, and that is unorthodox because to use cash behind the scene, induce lawmakers that are duly elected as per the law of our country to make laws for our people, to do representation, and then they would be in the process about involving themselves into dubious and sinister deeds to undermine the constitutional leadership of the speaker. That is tantamount to an abrogation of our constitution. Now, these are folks that are intending to abrogate the constitution, because to do those kind of things against the constitution, it is tantamount to abrogating the constitution, and we all need to condemn those kind of action. But one thing I know, the fact that we started the New Progressive, we will be issuing a very powerful statement against those kind of things unfolding in our country. We believe that our democracy should be protected. And I am a constitutionalist, and I believe that we all Liberians we should adhere to the constitutionality of our country democracy. And that's why it's keeping the country moving forward, to protect the Constitution. If the Constitution is protected, it's important that we uphold the tenets of democracy. And that's the hallmark of it. Jonathan Fanatic Kofa contested the elections in a grand crew. He won the election handily, bigly, if I would want to put it. And then he contested to be the speaker. He also won. He operated within the confines of the Constitution of our country. It is important. And it is part of the same reason I'm saying today that I was just having conversation to the hearing that, if I will pivot a little bit, that the LRA boss, Honorable Jallah, has resigned. Folks been parading all those kind of information, but I got some very credible information that is not true. These are people that are trying to peddle those kind of disinformation. But mind you, we also credibly informed that there are folks in the legislature that are trying to pump certain media institutions or certain talk show hosts that are now, if you listen to some talk shows, they're now on the show saying Double Jallah did this. Double Jallah is a human being, and we all should acknowledge this process. But he's one of those integrated icons we have in the country, and we all need to commend the process of what the president bringing on board to help this process. Right? He did nothing wrong, and he's not going to. He didn't resign. This is the man I just announced that in 9 months he raised a little over $500 million, and he's targeting his threshold. He said he's targeting $1 billion. We need to rally around this individual. We need to do what we can do as Liberians to push these kind of people to protect the country, move forward. The more revenue he's going to generate for the country, we're going to solve most of our perennial problems. We have a lot of problems in the country. The country needs some intervention, critical intervention. So people like Double Jallah, we need to protect them. If the day he does wrong, we all will be the first to come and announce that for now he done nothing wrong. He's not resigned. No one should stop disseminating falsehood and misinformation to the people that Double Jallah has resigned. He didn't resign. He stayed the Commissioner General of the Liberia Revenue Authorities. But back to the speaker issue. Speaker Snow removal process started in late 2006. By 2007, basically, the deal was consummated. We removed Speaker Snow. We brought in Speaker Alex Tyler. Alex Tyler was Speaker for a very long time. And also we went through the process. We removed Speaker Tyler late in the reign of regime of Madam Sirleaf, and we brought Speaker Nugwe. It is about time that we fulfill the constitutional process in our country. If we want to push the level of the constitutionality of our democracy, we should protect it. It's not a good thing that we'll begin the process of trying to use cash to undermine the process of the speaker. Now, we receiving other information about money coming from the Ministry of Transport. If it is true, it's very disappointing. Now, when the current speaker played the role as when President Sirleaf appointed this man as the head of this special task force, Tomalin, I hope you following this process.
Yeah,
at this time that President Sirleaf appointed the current speaker, Speaker Kofa, to head a special task force against the global witness process. The speaker at the time this current speaker indicted the then speaker, Alex Tyler. And the information we receive in here is that the current Minister of Transport is the junior brother of Alex Tyler.
Yes, okay.
The current Minister of Transport is the junior brother of Alex Tyler. Now, the process about this whole thing, about this special task force that were established by the president at the time, was meant to look into the global witness process. I can recall there was a trip in London. I was in London when this process came out. We have gone to attend the IMO process when I had conversation on the side of things that were talking about the same report. Now, when President Sirleaf established or appointed this committee, was meant to do the job. Fonati Kofa didn't do nothing wrong. He operated in conformity with the instruction and the guideline of the president when the president appointed them. So I'm trying now to go back and deeply begin the process of doing some deep analysis here about the process as to what is unfolding about this 600,000, who is the transport minister, And going back to this thing is something that someone want to do a feedback. But yeah, here's what we want to say. It is important that we note here people that are elected constitutionally. Now, one thing quickly before I let know my big brother Johnny should be coming in soon. But one thing very importantly that we need to put out in this place, I'm one of the champions of democracy in Liberia. Have gone through the 15th political subdivision and trying to agitate and advocate for the massive. So we understand what has unfolded in the country. We understand. With the brief time we spend outside of Liberia, does not negate our role we play in the past. So it's part of the process that we'll call on them to say, hey, respect the Constitution. Don't abrogate the Constitution. Don't undermine the Constitution. But we should allow the speaker to, and it's good that the speaker is the president. So they're going to discuss at the high very high level. I'm inclined to believe, I don't think the president will want to support this process. If the president is not going to, if it is true that that money came from the transport ministry budget and the president does not acquiesce this, there will be some serious action taken against Minister Tyler for trying to instigate or trigger this is what we want to call postural actions to undermine constitutional authority of our country.
Well, it's good to see you, Emmerich. Emmerich, good to see you. Guys, it's like we said, I repeat again, I will keep saying it. Any attempt to remove the speaker will undermine this democracy that we are enjoying now. For the fact that you have one branch of one party dominating and all the, I mean, the first branch of government and so forth. And what surprised everybody is that members of his own caucus are involved in this act. Yes. And look, from this morning, we've been working the lines to see it. Want to see Liberia function? Honestly, you can debate for whoever you want to talk is about the speaker. I mean, but I can tell you this before I bring you Peabody way in and Johnny. If you think you can succeed in moving the speaker, 18 has that position, go back to the CDC, you're making a mistake. It will not happen. You will be you won't have the votes to put city or sedition in our position. Okay. And it just I'm happy that the CDC is calling a meeting tomorrow and calling on everybody to attend. And apparently, I know former Minister Pewee, he came out strong today and said if they attempt to remove the speaker, he will suspend membership from the CDC. He came up today and strike on it, and perhaps now it's causing some shivers. So I think it's about time that they really rethink the decision and will withdraw the needs on that petition, the signing going around and so forth. Yes, tomorrow they're having session. I doubt that session will go through. But again, let's hear from Peabody and then Johnny and Emmerich.
Look, man, too many. This is what I would say. Our people are so desperate when it comes to money that they will put that they don't have integrity when it comes to money. They don't represent the people that elected them. They only were elected to go there and get money to kind of furnish their lavish and stupid lifestyle. And that's why you see most of the guys in there in the house. You went there, you are from the same party. Your speaker, the speaker of the house, is on an official duty in Italy with the president of the republic. Now they're going to Rome, the Vatican, and other places. Now, if these guys are meeting with business investors and the investor go back and say, let me read something about Liberia. The very man who's out there representing y'all, they're going to be talking about, well, what is this? I mean, he's here. And they're trying to impinge him. They're trying to remove him. And he's sitting here talking about business that we should go to Liberia, we should invest in Liberia. You know, do the thing. I mean, it's fair. I heard this since Saturday from a lawmaker that money was already on hand. They were in the process of bribing. I said it last night. And this lawmaker reached out to me and said, look, if you have, it's not fair. It's not fair for our party. If you have any contact with the speaker, could you let me know? I would like to talk to him, but he said it's not fair, and I'm not in for that. These are the people that we put in place to represent us, and thinking that Liberia will move to the next level. The kind of people that sit in there who only think about getting bribes and getting money to embarrass the country. These are things that in the past, when you have certain people like Dr. Samuel D. Hill and all those people, in this, those things didn't happen, you know. But yeah, it's it now. Every time somebody have this displeasure with the speaker, somebody say, "Oh, we'll find money," and they give you money, and you go there and you just act inappropriately disgraceful. You know, Thomas Fala, I heard, is part of this group that is leading for the impeachment of the speaker, and they're getting money from Correction King Kong brother. The correction going on again. We know that Alex Tata was Correction King Kong. We know that he built those $1 million building that he could not maintain after he left power and stuff, and he's back. And his brother is at Transport Ministry. Lord have mercy. King Kong going to be bigger, you know. But it's sad for our country. It's really, really sad that lawmakers should be trying to improve the life, should be questioning, having oversight of certain things that are taking place in the government right now, and they are after removing the speaker only to benefit them. That is despicable. It's embarrassing. It's very, very disgraceful.
Johnny.
Yeah, so this is my position. Firstly, I listened to the three of you in regards to this rumors that certain group of representatives want to remove the speaker.
Not Roman, I tell you.
Okay. But here's the point. I mean, this is my position. The legislature is a political theater. Pewee knows that very well, and I'm sure all of you here know what our place is. It's a place of competition. I can understand, Tomalin, you are in sympathy with the speaker. Same thing with my brother, Peabody and Pewee. Sympathy with the speaker, and you are also sympathy with the CDC. I know your argument that if the speaker is removed, that position will not go by the CDC. Good. I mean, that's a good argument for you. But I mean, on what ground are you, Tomalin, trying to justify and defend our speaker, Kofa, to remain? And the next point is, don't you think if Speaker Kofa is removed, another CDC person will become speaker? I mean, our speaker. Don't you think it's possible? Okay, you disagree. You don't think so. But I said that's a political theater. There's a political battle in there. So Speaker Kofa has to play his game, has to ensure, that there are three things in politics. They tell you fight to gain power. When you gain power, you maintain power, right? So Kofa has gotten authority now as speaker. It is up to him to do what is appropriate and necessary by him to that he should find his authority as a speaker and have a smooth sailing as a speaker in the legislature in our House of Representatives. And like I said yesterday, I personally don't have specific interest in whether speaker is removed or not. Because if you go back to Speaker Kofa, when he was deputy speaker just a few months ago, what is his track record in terms of improving things in the legislature when he and Bova Chima were in charge? Go back to, like the last 6 years, serving as deputy speaker to Bova Chima. What is his record in terms of what everybody's saying here, like, he wants to refine the legislature, he wants to do this, he wants to do that, right? That's what we assume, that's assumption. But every assumption has a risk. Because
So
we are
yeah,
not sure.
yeah, issue based. It should be issue based, Johnny. It's not about what he's
Exactly. Exactly.
You saw how
Issue based.
man. He
Man,
had,
you give me chance. You're talking. I'm talking to you.
No, but when you saying things,
I would have interrupted you when I was speaking about your Pewee. I beg you.
Let him talk. He right though.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Give me chance. You give me chance. I beg you. Let me make my point. So my point is, I will not be on this platform to try to defend an individual because the person is a speaker. On the platform, I will defend policy issues, policy matters that will be about elevating Liberia's standard from where we are. You understand? That's my position on the platform. Whoever comes to discuss how can we move Lofa, Jallah, Kehleboe, Gongloe, these counties, how can we move them forward in the next 4, 5 months, 6 months? How can we make sure that every community where people live can access safe drinking water? That would be a very big boost to our health sector, because drinking water what going in your body is a major source of health problem. So I don't really care whether they move cover from there or he stays there. My concern is I want that lower house, that house representative, to be more issue-based. The people you see, then be more issue-based. And then be very be critical of the content and budget. How much of it is going to serve every community? How much of it is going to serve the hospital, the schools, our road condition, our everything that affect our life? Right? They should be pushing Speaker or Kofa to say to Kofa, this budget should not go this way and that way. We want our people's interest in the budget. That's why they are there as our deputies. Where if the thing that that Speaker Kofa is not doing what they think he should be doing in his position as Speaker, they want to remove him, is left up to them. I'm not here to be sympathy with anybody. My sympathy is with Liberia to the extent that Liberia can begin to make progress as fast as possible. How can we make changes in our system? Even some of the laws we have. How are they even reviews on laws are way archaic? Can you imagine how doing development law at the regional science? We're studying 1956 law, so the ordinance law. We are in 2024. The prof was teaching us about how Monrovia should be built. When our Germany be built for like 200,000+ people in Monrovia. They should be reviewing those laws that affect us. How can we make those laws that affect us to be changed to the betterment of Liberia? So, really, I'm in sympathy with all of them because I don't see them doing what they are to be they should be doing for Liberia. We've gone 9 months, we've gone 10 months in the new government that function. I've really been careful to see, even Musa Beri you put talking about. I mean, some of the argument he raising, sometimes, yes, I agree with him. But, I mean, where are we? How is the legislature working to improve our economy? How are they playing the legislative role to ensure that our economy is better? They're reviewing concessions. They got there with Aslam Military concession recently. What did they do about ensuring that some 25 years concession have gone to? What did they do to ensure that Aslam Military improves its system to create more jobs to improve the economy? But the one with the speaker, let them move speaker. I'm happy move speaker. I wanted to improve Liberian governance system, to take decisions that will improve Liberia. They keep speaker there. The Mongian make sure Liberia is moving forward. Kofa stay there, like Kofa blessing. Kofa not stay there, like Kofa business. Kofa should be Kofa. Look at Grand Crew County, where I was a few months ago. Grand Crew County, right? How are they deciding to even pull Liberia into regional development blocks? Southeast 5 counties, Western region 5 counties, Central region 5 counties. How can we direct our budget so that people get benefit from the national cake? Then sometimes here people discussing we have illegal gold mine. All the gold mine in Southeast. I bet you guys here, nobody in government from the Southeast is not aware of the gold mines operation are going on there. Most of the people that are in government from the Southeast are aware of the gold mine operation. All of those people that are in government from Lofa County are aware of people doing illegal money or pay soil money in Lofa. The same thing in the area. All what you call illegal money, illegal soil pay money is not in the absence of our leaders. They are the one involved. They got sharing those things. They got part of play with it. Because you can't tell me somebody can't do gold mine right here in Payakole, inside district. The commissioner is not aware. The shooter is not aware. The president is not aware. Senator is not aware. How can people go into gold mine on Via River? Nobody knows about that. And they say it's illegal money. Look, I beg you, gentlemen, Kofa want stay there, let him find a battle and stay. If he can't make it, they move from there. Then and snowfall, they move snow from there, and we still carry on Liberia. Tyler King, they John Tyler away from there. My man Nukwe from Cape Monkey, Mike Gibbs, they moving from there. That's it. Because we, the electors, we take interest in discussing these political parties, the political leaders' personal position. We should be telling them to do what we deserve. Our neighbors are making progress around us. Don't you realize that? Cote d'Ivoire making progress, Guinea making progress, Sierra Leone making progress right around us here. Don't we see we need to buckle ourselves up and move forward as Liberians to move our country forward? So, I mean, all of the one move speaker, you please look at the situation on the ground. You want move speaker because speaker is against the improvement of Liberia. Look, I'm moving from there. I'm moving from there because I think that he wants to fight against you politically for 2029. That's why you want moving from there for. You're moving from there under your business. All I want Liberia need to go forward. So let me stop here. Let my brother Emre, who just coming on. I mean, I've been reading his comments. He's so excited to be here, and I really appreciate.
He came for Kehleboe. I mean, he came for Sylvester.
Sylvester,
yeah.
But let me say this.
Yeah, but I think this will be a good thing. As we see our guys in the chat room,
Maybe
bring them on once in a while.
There are Peabody trying to excite this tonight.
It will be good for us. So
I didn't want to pay attention to what you recognize.
You want Jallah stop the lies?
You can interact with me.
You want Jallah everything you
Alright, thank you.
raise a lie.
Yeah.
Somebody brought out to attention. I mean, yeah. Why is that? You want to compare?
Lies. You want Jallah to tell
Yeah.
lies.
But my being on this platform is not to in any way denigrate, condescend, or elevate you. Sometimes when you read my comments, it's in good faith. All
No, it's
right.
not in good faith. It's
No,
like
it is in good faith.
when you have, no, it's not in good
Sylvester
faith.
gave me a chance. No, give me a chance. Let me speak first. Sylvester, give me a chance. Let me speak
I want to
first.
hear what you're going to say.
No,
What you're going to
Sylvester,
say.
when
I
you
can't
were
want me.
speaking, no,
Listen.
but you can't. No, I will not let you to have.
No,
the
but if you
time
can't
right
let me
now.
talk,
It's my
because
time.
if
I
you-
will not let you to have the
If
time.
you,
Right now. It's
if
my
you
time.
speed up,
Sylvester,
if you
give
speed
me
up
a chance. Let me
gibberish about
speak.
somebody
No,
that you don't know from
Sylvester,
whatsoever,
no, give me a chance. Let
if
me
you
speak.
speed up, kind of
Because
gibberish.
give me a chance. Let me speak.
Gibberish
Not
coming from you.
gibberish.
If you don't know the person from nowhere,
It's based on
that's
what you
responsibility.
say. It's based on what you say.
Guys,
Give me a chance.
we
Let me
beg
speak.
you. We haven't.
Let's be
Okay,
mature
for the sake
people.
of the conversation, I will let you go on.
Okay,
Let's
I
stay on topic, guys.
have been quiet. You see the
Let's
reason
stay
why.
on topic, guys.
You see the reason why I get on the skin of people like you, because you think
No, you didn't get on my skin.
No,
You didn't get on my
because the
skin.
way you reacted.
Guys, you don't
The
go
way you
personal.
reacted.
Let's
Yeah, the
let's
way
not-
you reacted.
No, I didn't react. You saw me reacting
Okay,
to
then listen. Okay, then
that
listen.
everybody
Because
just said something.
then
and
listen,
that's why
listen.
No, I was just messing with you guys, though. I'm sorry. I was just messing.
Sylvester, you're not on the floor,
That's
right?
fine.
When you have the opportunity to speak, I will never speak. I will be quiet. That's professionalism. Okay,
Yeah.
that's professionalism. So this is the point. I think you think that is stick for tat, but for me, in my profession, okay, for years of experience, and I will say I'm credentialed for years of experience, I will be able to prefer my views, my opinions on those issues when I see you go wrong, especially with the economy. I'm not an economist, but economics ties to finance. All right. So when you were speaking and you talk about Liberia with the population we have, I felt you were wrong, and everybody came to correct you. You did not want to accept it. So let me speak first. The issue with Liberia, one of the issues with Liberia, and I will say, I will be very, very blunt. And that's the reason why you see when you read most of my writings on tribalism is a problem in our country. No matter what education we have or we don't have, tribalism is a problem in our country. Some of the same group of people, like you talk about Fala and so, they were with the former President George Weah, right? They stood with him when it benefited them. But you see them now. We are hearing that they are backdooring George Weah to settle score with President Boyka because they feel within themselves that it benefits them to align with their tribesmen. That's the culture we have built over time. But then if you look at since 1980, when we accused the Congo people of nepotism and tribalism, where are we today? Can we tell where are we today? Since the indigenous, the native people took over, since 1980, where are we today? It's a different shape or form of the same thing happening. So can we say 1980 was justified? When today we have a two-party system in the country, not multi-party system anymore. We will come and have the neo party or neo what they call or advocate and so to say those things. But I'm going to speak. The reason why you see me, I guess, so harsh on some of the people that speak on these different platforms and make mockery out of them is simple. Because you can't be the same person who will advocate against something of yesterday and then at the same time you be a proponent of those things today. When we talk about the Southeast region, all right, we talk about the Southeast region. We talk about Sano, Grand Jidea, Grand Cru, Maryland, all of those places. They are all different tribes in short. But we see that today people justifying that Lofa County has 6-7 tribes. You're talking about one county. That's the justification for Garguah, for the central bank governor, for the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia, for the Internal Affairs Minister, all of those different places we see the face. But then what are the essence of 1980? What are the essence of the coup? We cannot put any essence to the coup. The only essence we can put there, because certain groups felt they were marginalized, they were not benefiting directly. That's the reason why they brought about the coup to mislead people. Or else, everything today that we are talking about will change. Okay? We won't see nepotism. We won't see tribalism. We won't see those things. So let us move forward. So that's my issue there is not with you. It's what you speak. When what you speak, people get confused with your position. The wishy-washiness should not be existed because you think you're from the Lofa background. Then you want to act like you're balanced. You want to come on this platform and pretend like, oh, you know, I speak from the Constitution. But when it comes to leadership, let me tell you this. Leadership is based on moral and ethics. That's leadership. It's not by the Constitution. Something can be constitutionally right, but it won't fit the moral content and context or integrity or ethics. So you have to look at leadership from morality, from an ethical standpoint. So that's one of my issues that I have. When you say, oh, Lofa got so many tribes, so it justified that all of the people from Lofa is right for our government according to Article 5. Article 5 states it. Sectionalism, regionalism, all of those things will have to be abolished because of integration and unity. So if you look at our country today, right, all of the things we've gone through, it defeats the purpose of all of those things we've gone through. Even 1989, the crisis of 1989, Taylor brought. Because Doe too, former President Doe, had a whole lot of people from Nigeria in the government at the time, but we still frown on it. It brought dissatisfaction in our country. Other people felt they were not part of the government. They felt disenfranchised by the governing structure. They took arms against President Doe. So we can't go back if you have not read history to know all of the instances where we had these different incursions, different wars. We can't go back and do the same old thing. Whether you qualified or not. I went to school with Garguah. Okay, I went to be there with Garguah. I know Garguah. Garguah is a brilliant mind. But the Constitution too is not just about being brilliant. It's about the balance of power, that everybody will feel that they are part of the country. It's a sticky issue. It's a sticky issue that we should be able to settle after we have addressed what happened in the past. What happened in the past is not good, but we can still use that to fix what's happening now and going forward. So my issue is never personal. If you read my comments, you read my issues against people, it's not personal. To come and say that you're going to be teaching me and teaching, you don't even know me to say you will teach me. I'm not going to talk about my profession. All of those things, is this not the place for it? We need to educate Liberians, and we need to bring Liberians together. When we talk about unity, you can't make a divisive comment when you don't know a person to say you're going to tutor him, you're going to teach him, that he should be under your voice for him to listen to you. So the question is, who are you? Identify yourself, give your credential, and tell people who you are and what you do now. Now somebody will give you that respect and audience to say you're above him or you're above her. Okay? So I know you're anxious to speak. It's not about you and me, take for tack, but we're here to discuss the issue of Liberia and put things to perspective. So when I said the leadership of Liberia, and this is my last comment, all of what has happened in the past since our recent history from 1980, when I said only the presidency can change Liberia, is true. Because first of all, we said President Boyka, he has 40-some more years of experience, know what has happened in the past. I think when it comes to the issue of trying to remove or a representative who is not from your political party is something that we should not be doing. So when it comes to that, and then when you are minister taking $600,000 to spend behind that process, how when the budget line is there, right, to show that every budget line at your ministry should be spent accordingly, according to the legal aspect of our country. But you're taking that amount to divert to something that was not budgeted for it. Isn't it illegal to do that? Those are some of the questions we need to be asking. And those are some of the points that we need to raise them, being take for time with you and myself. So my issue there is something that is fundamental. It's based on fundamental issues. It's based on principles. It's based on those values that I think that we should look into and debate. They're coming here to trying to prove a point that you know more than I know, or I know more than you. That's not my fight. Because my fight is Liberia. Once I stand for Liberia and tell the people what they should know, educate them, and then they too educate me on what we should know and exchange information and exchange ideas, I think we can move our country forward. They're coming to prove a point. I'm not here to prove a point. So thank you. I will let it go on to the next person who's going to speak.
Okay, let me say this. Guys, let me progress. These debates are healthy, but sometimes you just got to let some things go and just move on. But again, I hope. Let me just say, I got a report today that I talked to the director of the Inspector General of Police, Coma, and he told me that he confirmed that there is an arrest. Some top official of the National Police were involved in some case involving a Vietnamese business person. Where they extorted money from. Hey, our police guy, top official all involved. But he said that he had taken necessary action and that he will be addressing and having another update tomorrow. We are following that case to find out what's happening. And also, I saw a lady on a video crying that a DEA killed her son. They said they were doing a raid and her son got killed. She had 5 boys. One of her son is innocently got killed. I don't know. The president is about time. The president, he got to take action to start to appoint the DEA heads. Let get organization at the DEA. But yeah, people are still begging for the jobs at the DEA. President Bokar, you got to exercise political will and be decisive. If you have agreed that, because somebody said they were giving the DEA report. The report is very, very bad. But the report is so bad, then President Bokar act. If you get rid of the 3 guys, get rid of them. There are a lot of Liberians who are qualified. I will say again. You got Colonel Alex Dixon. You got Colonel Ansu Pewee. You can look. The guys are people who can also elevate the DEA. Don't forget about them. And then too, I saw a post today by my sister, Councilor Mariah, calling for the record of Senator Dillon, and it's gaining some momentum. They don't be careful, because I think it is a law on the Constitution that you can be recalled. If she gets the signatures, you put it on it comes up, you definitely be recalled. And she gave me reasons why she be recalled. Perhaps, Liberia, look, I hope we can elevate our democracy and where we can do these things. If somebody feel that the representation is not met, they can go for a recall. Pursue it. If you get the signatures, go for it. That's what I want.
Too many.
They will record almost 99% of the people.
Now you saying the people go raise a vote again to go do something. So that was that plays a political theater.
I'm saying, I don't know. I know the record business is up to them. I'm not Monserrato or constituent. No, I'm from Guinea. Yeah, so I don't do it. I'm probably in my Guinea. No, but again, as I was almost like on the speaker issue. Look, don't forget. Let me tell you another problem too. It is because they are preparing. They already started preparing the national budget for 2025, and most of the guys over the years they put stuff into that budget to get it back, get it in return, and now they are concerned that if they put the item in the budget for 2025. We'll find order will stop it. It may not go through. So that's why now, you see this guy will obstruct us. Our thing will get for that budget, they're going to stop it. So look. I mean, if you want to remove the speaker for legitimate reason, but not because it's called for audit, also coming towards the issue of Johnny talking about prioritizing Liberian people interest. We all for it. But I say now to Johnny, why can't they succumb to the audit? Let them audit them. And I can bet you over 400 million have been spent over the last 18 years. Over there. We can't see what let Liberian people know what happened to the money. Let's see what happened to the money. So I'm against speaking to the Deputy Speaker Fala. I heard that you are involved in this. If you are not involved, come forward and show the Liberian people and citizens that, well, we are not in support of every move of the Speaker, and we will not allow any of our caucus to reject the defect to go and join the rescue caucus to remove the Speaker. So I'm calling him. My guilt is the caucus chair. So tomorrow, having a meeting tomorrow, we will monitor the meeting. What happened in the meeting? But I know it is serious because before I got on the show, I heard that they're talking about signatures now. So they have 45 for the 7% have signed. You need 49. But I don't want to believe that number. That number, I think, because you got 34 in the rescue block, 24 from CDC, 50 from the independent block. So in order to remove the Speaker, if CDC lawmakers are not part of it, he will not be removed. So let them come forward and defend and say that we are staying by the Speaker 100%. But let's hear from you guys. Go ahead, Lofa.
So, regarding the Speaker's removal, right? What I believe personally, from my view, is this: let your record speak for itself. As of his recent performance, based on his ascendancy to that position, what has he done? Let the public know what he has done, and that record will speak for itself. So that way, people would not advocate for his removal. The reason why you see Mariah and other people are now asking for DeLon to be recalled is based on DeLon's records. So let Fanati Kofa distance himself from all of these holla about his impeachment and use his record to fight against those people, because all of us here, we are not naive. If this man been doing a good job, we will of course speak to the people, the conscience of the people, and say to them, look, this man is working in your interest. So and this is why we spoke of when we spoke of transparency. Remember, Tomalin, remember the reason why the Senate is not a part of the executive branch is for a reason. But you see the president and Kofa hands in hands, they're moving around. Where is the independence? Where do we draw the line to say, okay, this man is going to serve? So when I hear people talking about, let me remove him, I am not in support of the clandestine way they want to go about it. But I also want to dwell on his performance. Let us be issue-driven. As we discuss these things, I want to know, since his ascendancy, what has he done? What is his record? Okay, as a speaker, what is he doing to actually present that different view, that opposing idea as compared to those who were there before? Those are the kind of things we want to look at. And then we can look at his record prior to his ascendancy to that position as a speaker. And then we'll say, you know what? Based on this man's record, I think what is being stated here, that they are actually just coming together to remove him because he is very strong, okay? And he wants to make sure that things are done right. But I cannot point, if I were to ask all of us on here, let us reference Speaker Kofa's record. Let us talk about what he has done. Let us highlight those things, and then we can say, no, we oppose this idea because you guys are doing this because you can't stand a few good people, because it is rare for you to see good people in your midst. So that's the reason why you're merging against this man. But I cannot sit here with good faith and really say, okay, I want to speak against the act of his removal, even though I know deep down my heart that the way they are going about it, having to accept the dirty money, the brown envelope, I oppose that. But at the same time, this man, there is no record that I can really point to say he deserves to remain in that position, even though one may say it haven't been long enough, but he had time to prove himself. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. As for the recall of Senator Darius DeLong, I think we do have the constitutional mandate to recall a senator who is underperforming, who have refused to live up to his promises. And if you are to follow Mariah's statement, the written statement she put out there, she laid out exactly why she feels like Senator Dillon have not done what is expected of him. He, like she rightfully said, there are so many instances where he proved to be literally lying about what he promised the people. The issue of the return of a portion of his salary. Okay, we have no issue of accountability. He claimed that he's making those payments to the rehabilitation center, but how is the issue of oversight? Okay, which is part of his responsibility, accountability. How is he accounting for all of the money that he claimed to own or he owes? Monserrato. We have no account of those things. So definitely, I don't think Mariah is actually floating on a soft or a little solid soil over here. I think it is fertile, and she can definitely push it through if she wants, because DeLong will have to convince us that yes, everything I promised, I have done those things, and even more to maintain my position in the Senate. And finally, the issue of the DEA and the death of the young man. I really want to speak to this highly. Security is part of what we are supposed to be provided through government. And unfortunately, if the lives of innocent people are being taken away due to just recklessness or, the issue of just people being selfish, it is disheartening. And this is why most often people will say the government has failed if the government cannot afford to protect lives and property, especially in the security sector. It is sad.
Yes. Let me.
Pewee, before you come in, Pewee, but let me just say this. So far,
Yes, sir.
You say you haven't done nothing. The maker for audit.
No. I asked, what has he done? Bear with me.
We're talking make of an audit, and you say the man haven't done nothing. And then
Tomalin.
I come 1 minute now. I was appointing Lofa for Lofa to say that we got the speaker and the president walking. Hey, Lofa, let's be frank now. You want a man to be enemy with the president? Let's be frank.
Not at all.
We said because the man walk with the president, so that means that you feel different from him.
No, I don't want to take away from other, but I will elaborate when I'm opportune to. I'll elaborate on that point.
Yeah, let me just say the point, and then I will drop off my daughter and be back on the show quick. But yes, what I'm going to say. There's a very critical thing, Lofa, and I had a conversation with you on this process about our country democracy, and we should not be responsible. And I mean, we will be responsible. Let me put it this way: to educate some of our better that are totally not knowledgeable or disoriented about our governance system. Now, it is very important. We do have the process of the separation of power. It's important.
Okay.
It's a critical process in the in the implementation of our governance. You don't expect the speaker to be that combative with the executive. This one. The speaker is there to leverage what we want to refer to as a very positive synergies to push the governance process forward. By that, you see the president's legislative agenda pass through the speaker, and a lot of things will work in so that the country will move through the system. And that's why here in this country, the bipartisanship relationship that can sometimes exist, that's why Biden passed the most powerful stimulus package in this country. The infrastructure package in this country, it was supported by some of the Republicans. That's the kind of way you see it. Whenever it goes that terrible, the government of America can go south. So you can threaten to see they want to close down, shut down government. Now, back to the recall system. Mariah is trying to project something. That is burden. But is that going to be possible in Liberia? Listen, no lawmaker want to set precedent by saying they will expect. Now, to do that, you need 10,000 signatures as per our Constitution. Article 1 of the Constitution of our country gives the powers to the people to do that. But for that to be consummated,
you need to see the lawmaker themselves agree to get rid of that person. You think any lawmaker in Liberia are going to set a precedent to say they will get rid of one of their members? Because if you set that precedent in Liberia, here's what's going to happen. Our country is not as sophisticated as we want to see other modern democracy. If you set the precedent to say you're getting rid of Sylvester Pewee as lawmaker of Lofa County, you open room for John Paul from Grand Crew, Maryland, to also be expelled. So they're not going to set that space. And that's one of the reasons why to even see Yeket, despite most of them will misbehave, to see them expelled. They will understand and say they're suspended for 1 week, 2 weeks, and they will eventually be back. Yeah, I agree that recall process can go on, but we need to see in terms of the intent of whosoever that trying to push this process. It's going to be a difficult thing. And that's why when we push this kind of thing, people that don't understand it, they'll say, oh, we're saying this, we're saying this. Let me come back to the process of what I was saying yesterday about the geographical process of our governance system. So what role the president play? The president is the commander-in-chief of the country. The president is the one that controls and head of government. The basics of Article 5 or the constitution of our country, the issue about projecting unity, the issue about integrating the folks in the country, the issue about the geographical balance process. That intent, that process is meant for the president to certify his intent as to how he structures his government. The governing process of our society is not about how individuals want to think. It's not about Lofa sitting in Raleigh in North Carolina and believe that the way the process want to go. No, it's about the structure of the law, and that's how I want to put it. It's not about sitting back in my town in Jallah in Lofa County and think that no, it's about the structure of the state. And the structure of the state is very clear. The presidency is the most powerful institution in the country, granted. But while the president is powerful, the president collaborates and coordinates with other branches of government. That is the major branch of government the president coordinates with is the executive, because most of the president's legislative agenda will have to pass through the legislature so that he can have the power to do a lot of things to help the people. Now, so now we structure it. It's not going to be the line that's going to, you build it and you coordinate. That's why some of the time you'll see leaders will allow the lawmakers to have certain things because the leadership of that country is important to do those things. Now, back quickly before I close here to move on. We have major individuals. Look at the landscape. People have just been blankly criticizing things. And probably it's because they're naive to some of those things. They don't understand the details of it. They will want to say certain things about it. Look at this, the configuration of our cabinet. In the cabinet, for instance, you have the internal affairs minister. The president structures the cabinet. And those serve in the cabinet serve at the will and pleasure of the president. If the president structures the cabinet, the configuration of the cabinet will come from all lines. Go back to the counties as to how this president did the cabinet and all other presidents want to do the cabinet. It's in keeping. Major decision part of the cabinet is not from Lofa. For instance, the Minister of National Defense is now Lofa. The Minister of Defense is now Lofa. The initial Minister of Finance did not come from Lofa County. Now, so to reflect a geographical balance and the diversity of the country base is what the president is inclined to believe. It's not the knee-jerk thought process of individuals. No. It's the head of state, and that's what the head of state is given the power to think about those things. He'll balance the structure of his power. So if I say that, and people will get headache from me saying the president got that means to do it, and of course it is the appropriate thing to do when you have the geographical configuration in the country. You have 6, 7 tribes in that country. It should be balanced geographically. Now, there's a topographic proceedings in terms of analytical look through in the county. Our county, the county you from, and I'm from Lofa, is a county that is based in terms of division. That's geographical disposition also. We'll have to take some time, but probably to draw elementary class to teach people the basis of what the president intent is. No, so basically, you have to look at some of those things, and that it's the president's responsibility. It's an instrument of the president's priority, right? But
so,
listen,
Pewee, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. You consistently
listen.
I
will join the show in less than 2 minutes.
No, before you leave, I just want you to address this part. You made mention of geography, right? You said the geographic aspect of his decision, but then you are mentioning a specific location, Lofa County, where we are from, and then you are basing it on the tribal line, the tribal aspect of it. How does that ties into the geography of the decision here that is being made? Aren't you looking at the different geographical locations?
Now you say not different, right? So now let's go intellectual now.
Right.
Lofa County is 6 different administrative districts. Some districts are geographic. Zosa districts are geographic. Conibody districts are geographic. So I'm trying to, if you want to wait the electoral,
within the same region.
So that's what we say. There's a topographical geography in those regions, right? So if you want to go to, that's why I say you want to go intellectual, we go that side and try to. But listen,
all along we wanted to be intellectual in our dissemination.
But sometimes we carry on dishonesty in exhibiting our intellectualism, and that's why we don't want to exhibit here, to be intellectually dishonest. That's why.
Okay.
But I will be on the show in just.
People come back. People go come back.
I'll be on the show from the car.
Go come back, Pewee. So look, let me just start from where Pewee ended. You know, I'm from Lofa, and that whole issue of tribal thing, I have a different view.
You got Lofa.
And I have a different way to talk about it. You understand? My man, so and to me, that's why I didn't want to get involved with the conversation, because what they're discussing here has a lot of interpretation when it comes to Lofa. If you go to CDC last government, you know, that was just on enough to fear his government. The entire CDC was managed and led by Lofa County. Shangako, Joseph Koji, Thomas Fowler, Sir Joseph, Fina Bono, what the former chairman, Mama Molu. Those are all, I mean, you can go to name. They're all Lofians. Go to UP government, 12 years. Key position in our government were also Lofians. So even go back to 1980, Doe government, Lofians were dominating. Go back to President Togar days. Lofa is a different place to consider. So that's why the leader of Lofa, who take the country, must not capitalize on the 6. I will put everybody in her position, because what happened is that the majority group of the other 14 counties will raise our brother. That should be a concern to you as a leader. Even though it is my prerogative to appoint people to the pleasure of me as president, but how do I place my kinsmen in government so that it doesn't undermine them for the future? That's why I didn't want to get involved, because what you're discussing here, it has a long-term effect on Lofa County if we're not careful, right? But look, so that's why I want to tell Pewee, my brother, look, let's stop the argument of Lofa business, because it may even affect you, Pewee.
No,
so right now,
but Johnny,
come in, Emery. Like right now, we talk about Lofa being too many. Pewee now, a Boga want to point you now, so we say no, like Pewee man again. I mean, Lofa man too.
No, a Boga appointment, I will not take it. I reject it. I don't want a Johnny Boga administration. I don't want it, Johnny. You know that. I don't want it.
Okay, good. But I'm just saying to Oslo. I think the president,
I don't want it.
To consider how to appoint people from Lofa so that it doesn't create the kind of concern we have now as a public. That look, I mean, it's almost entirely 18, 19. I'm also competent to serve as a cabinet minister in the government of Liberia. Whether it's in this government or any government, I'm competent. Based on what I've learned, based on what I know, based on my capacity, I'm competent. I'm from Lofa, right? But it takes a leader to understand the actions he or she will take so that it doesn't have a long-term repercussion on the people. Why are we today worrying about the sort of when it comes to crime and Guar or Nima grandchildren? Because the way leaders behave in the past, today the innocent grandchildren and Nimayans are being victimized by what people did 20, 30 years ago because of their personal ego to do things. Today's generation of Nima people have not do what happened 20 years ago, 30 Nigeria crime man, because do a crime man, I live in Grenada for many months. There are crime in Grenada that did not even benefit from the regime of President Doe. I went into a hometown, I saw a complete divide. Doe quarter has all complete buildings. As in the quarter in Tucson has the thatched houses. Tucson was divided in the middle between Doe family and the other people who were not part of Doe family. Right? I can tell you that for free. I've gone there on many occasions. And I'm wondering, well, why can this small town that had a president be this much divided? That small Tucson town that should have maybe probably less than like maybe 20 or 30 houses. But where Doe came from, where his family came from, is where you see most of the well-built structures that were destroyed in the war, concrete buildings. And be very much careful how the foreign government, when it comes to where the unborn generation become victimized by today's action. Now, we go back to the DEA and the police situation. You know, I saw that clip today. And for me, I'm a person, I'm very careful in passing judgment. I will beyond what we see on the video. Let's know what really happened and what really went on. Did somebody actually die? That's first question. Is it true somebody died? Fine. Then how did that person die? Because you know, our country full of drama. I am not discounting the lady crying on the movie, on the show. But I know the country has gone through the last 20 plus years since before the war in this country. So I like to always take my said they stole the police boot at Boulevard Junction. Was a big news in Morovia. Oh my, I believe it. Oh, the postal police boot. How can the police boot at the junction that is like a metal sheet? The news when the all that wasn't stolen. So I mean, I like to take my time to evaluate anything I hear about Liberia when it comes to the social media, because we are all crafted. We can do things just to implicate people into things. But I would think that as much as by seeing the movie, we are in sympathy with the lady crying for her son, and for us as a platform, I don't think we should push it too much in our discussion before we'll be seen as pushing rumor or gossip. You understand? And the issue, even with the police, investigation as closing argument, we stop right there. Because we don't know the details of what happened. But too many, if you have more detail, you can put it out to us in the chat room. We see it. We always discuss it. But I'm a person, I have something to defend. As much as we are all human, we can make mistakes. But sometimes I'm very careful on how I use words or how I analyze situation, because you don't know tomorrow's situation, what will come out of it. So let me say, I'm inspired with a woman that was crying, and I really hope that what she's crying for is not true. If it is true, I pray and hope that we can investigate it and bring the culprits to justice so that she can have justice, and her son that will be considered as dead or be proven to be dead will have justice. I mean, I feel bad to hear that young people in the country just die because of some other things happening around here. And the issue of DEA, I think President Boakai is too long. He declared in the initial part of his coming to power that drug is an emergency situation. I mean, it's a what emergency, something he said, right, about drug being a emergency crisis we have. I would think that by this time he would have made a decision based on the what was discovered in the investigation to appoint the leadership of the Drug Enforcement Agency so they can have a coordinated leadership to work. Okay, we had an interim leader there. He just resigned. No one knows why he resigned. Come on, do you have information why the officer resigned who was heading DEA? Do you have any clue?
I think they asked him to resign.
Okay, you say you think. Okay. But I'm just saying this department needs a response. The last time we heard from Leo Johnson that they want to conduct a substance abuse situation in the country. That is very, very important. I would think that the legislatures, the data house of Liberia should make that part of the next data collection in the country, because it's becoming a serious issue for Liberia. Almost in every county, the drug issue is unfolding, is prevailing everywhere. So I think legislators should put that as part of the next data collection of Liberia to know the level of drugs, kinds of drugs, the users, what age group, which sex, everything. So then that will help us to plan how to respond. My brother, you cannot plan anything and execute properly if you don't have data as your background for your operation or for your project. So we're going to try to be more data oriented so that we can provide better policy, better information that will help us to govern and lead this country. When it comes to where the legislature is a political theater that fighting place, you will see the one raised and senator to remove Jallah. Now you're not saying why should we remove Jallah? Because you got issue that they don't have been doing wrong things. Okay, fine. Now those want to move Kofa too. They have their own issue that you don't know, but you are speaking in defense of him because you don't want.
I'm speaking for the country.
Yeah, you don't want the dominance of one party in the
Yes.
legislature. That's what you don't want, right? That's your point.
Yes.
But in that case, it
And the problem is coming from the
you
own
guys
caucus.
must try to serve Liberians. And I want to encourage all Liberians. Let's keep our ears and eyes open as you guys are governing us. 6 years, some people think 6 years like 1 million here. 6 years like that tomorrow. What I want to do now, let's take track and let's follow closely argument so you can be informed of what's happening in the government. Take your notebook and mark them down. So when they come in the next 5 years to say, I want to come back and go to the job, I think we should be more objective and more.
Jallah, your camera.
Yeah. So your camera is freezing every now and then.
But
are you hearing me now?
Yeah. You were hearing you. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying that Liberian people should follow closing argument so we can all help to shape their thinking process about how to elect their leaders in the next 5 years to come. Whatever the guys doing in the house, whether they whether they remove profile or not, if they don't work in the best interest of the people of Liberia, we should deal with them in that manner and form, because I don't see any difference whether they keeping or removing. If I see them arguing on the budget, they come in 2025 budget on how the budget should impact Liberian people's life, then I know they're doing well for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the coming days, the president is expected to nominate Henry Famulet as ambassador to Nigeria. The president's nephew, Joseph Johnson, to Morocco. Come on, UN Ambassador Louis Brown.
That's some tea over there.
Going back to the United Nations. And George Solo as ambassador to the Netherlands with concurrent representation to Belgium and Luxembourg. We're watching these nominations in the coming days. So we're looking forward to see our new ambassadors as they're being nominated by the president. But again, I say again, it's important that we talk about this issue about what's happening in the house. It's serious. We are watching carefully the next 24 hours because tomorrow is a session day. Okay, don't forget tomorrow is session day, and tomorrow the deputy speaker will be presiding. But I want to see first of all whether they will have a quorum, whether they will go ahead with the session tomorrow. And from what I'm getting, we are watching it carefully. I will see from there whether they will have a quorum tomorrow at the house. But the removal of the speaker, nobody should. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the president at all, but the president, he alone cannot single-handedly remove the speaker because he needs help from the CDC block if he was doing. That's why I'm concerned about the CDC block being part of it. That's what I'm saying. Deputy Speaker Tomalin should come on forward. You should come forward to come and break the silence. Show the people, well, we are not part of anything of this nature. The CDC block will not how to call it, will not defect. We'll hold together because you need 49 persons to remove him. And if you don't have that 49, and to get that 49, CDC block must be part of it. So, so they cannot get it. You cannot, because the independent block, they are not all. I think they're solidly behind the speaker. So, and whatever the case, the rescue block got 34. So, in order to get it going, you must have people. You have some defections, and that's why it's important that the deputy speaker come forward. I want to hear from McGill. I want to hear from Thomas Fala about tomorrow meeting. They're having an emergency meeting tomorrow. I want to see what happened in that meeting. It's important. We'll call them out. We'll call them out. We will not hesitate to call them out for all those who are involved, and we'll call them out. And good that nobody can censure us on this platform. We're not anybody on nobody's payroll. We're free to speak our mind. But I hear from you, Emmerich.
Yeah, but Tomalin, if you look back to our history, our political parties have never been used for any viable change, right? Mm. Okay, so looking at what's happening, to think that the CDC bloc cannot join with the ruling party now is something that we should not be thinking about, because this has been the history of our country. Our country, people, this is the reason why you elect people into office that have had some level of success in their personal, private lives, professional lives, outside of government. Because they are not going to bow to something like that because they have acquired some level of success while they were away from government or operated outside the government. The conviction to lead a country is different from acquiring personal wealth or using the country's resources to take care of yourself. Two different things. In Liberia, we're doing it the opposite way. In Liberia, we always rescue people that have done nothing in their personal lives. We always rescue people that have nothing at all and enter into our leadership and depend on the leadership for a living. And that's one of the reasons why we found these things happening. And I keep saying, the day we elect people or we put people into leadership that have acquired a good living condition on their own without government, I'm not saying that when people are wealthy, they're not corrupt, but the chances of being corrupt when you make wealth of your own outside of government and come in for service, that chance is slim. Liberia, we have always done it on the reverse. We put people that are dying, had got no option at all in life. What they turn? They turn to our governing structure to resuscitate them, right? Revive their lives. So do you think that every nickel, dime, and penny, they're going to leave it? No, they're going to grab onto it. That's the reason why political parties don't serve as institutions in our country, because institutions going to be the bedrock of a country to develop a country, to create, I would say, a source of technocrats, ideas, reformers. That's why you have institutions. Institutions like think tank. I mean, a think tank to sit and brainstorm the issues of the country, right? Bringing ideas, even though they're from different areas, different political parties, but they sit and think and agree on one thing to move the country forward. Let us agree on moving the country forward. We have not had that in.
Too, but I can do that.
You want to talk and give you a chance to talk, bro. Okay,
Guys,
so
can I chime in a little bit?
I'm you know, I'm about, I will soon Gongloe, I will soon end this. So our country people use
that you will use not immediately but in the future.
Guys, mute yourself, please. Mute yourselves. Thank you.
People use political parties to revive their failed lives, and so their lives that they had never ever lived. And that's one of the mistakes even our voters keep making. And I will say it, I will be emphatic about it. Whether we like it or not, we should have not elected most of the people we have elected that will use our country as a fallback plan for not putting their personal lives, professional lives together, that failed for so long. And they came back because they know it's an easy entry to be able to acquire wealth in our country. And we keep making the same mistakes. We revive the life of, the Sirleafs, the Weas, the Kehleboe, and everybody, most of them. And this is the reason why I be blunt and very upfront with saying the truth. So do you expect people of those characters to actually look into the well-being of our people, then acquiring some stability and wealth for themselves? No, it will never happen. Even with President Bouaka, you talk about 45 years, but I will tell you the truth. Nobody can sit and be able to name those things, because President Bouaka himself, he said it, not me, that I was living on loan. How can I work for 45 years and then still live on loan? It simply means that I did not have some fiscal responsibility as an adult to know that I will one day retire. So the only thing we do is to look into the governance structure of our country, where we can come to make up for those days that we mismanaged, we did not take care of ourselves, we did not do a lot of things right, to come back and see how we can be able to make up for those days. That's all I see in our governance structure. That's the reason why you see it's so easy when you talk about political parties, when you talk about even seditions today trying to vote alongside with UP to remove the speaker. That's the reason, because it is the only way. But once we create other opportunities outside of government, where people can have a good, I would say, living wage, good retirement outside of government, that won't happen. It won't be happening as we see now. So we have to, in order to move our country forward, we have to see how we can create opportunities outside of government. It's something that we have failed. Since 1980, we have failed. We need to wake up and think about ways and means to create those opportunities where people will speak based on conviction, because you know why? They can take care of themselves if they are not within the governance structure. We have not found that way, because we have not placed people that have the acumen, people that have the experience, people that have the abilities in those positions to resuscitate, to revamp our structure. Because our structure is based on political hiring. Political hiring is not the way forward. So I will turn it over to Gongloe for him to be able to add on. Thank you.
Well, that was a long lecture. Look, guys, I'm sorry I just joined you late. Was compelled by conviction to come on. As you know, I should be in class by this time. I had an interaction with Emery, with my professor talking in the bike. Listen, we had a debate yesterday on the show on the question of what our law says. Our law says our president should appoint cabinet, which means heirs of entities, be to reflect a geographic balance in the country. It did not say tribe, because our constitution and our laws do not promote tribalism. So when we come in public forum, people who might want to hide in dishonesty to talk about intellect, there's nothing intellectual about outrightly lying on what is based on facts. There's nothing about intellectual. There's nothing intellectual about that. Okay?
Hold on a minute. So quote the law that says the president should be geographic. Quote the law.
No, Article 5. Article 5 says it.
It's not Article. It didn't say that.
No, Article 5 says it.
It didn't say appointment.
Sectionalism, regional.
No.
Regional black.
By appointment. You see why you said it didn't talk
no,
about
but it includes it. It includes it.
No. It talks about national unification.
Yeah, but national unification is what? Integration is what?
It's what
is integration?
It didn't talk about appointment.
Yeah, but what is integration?
To contribute. Jallah is protected.
And
when you quote the law, Mr. Gongloe, quote the law.
No, but Article 5 talks about integration, national unity.
It's not Article 5. Leave that. Article 5 is one thing. Article 5.
So what is integration? What is unification? What is that?
Mr. Gongloe, when you quote the law, you talk about some of the two laws.
Let's go and read the executive law of 1972.
That's why when you quote the section of it, which one?
Well, I can't say exactly.
You can't force the man.
You see where we are now. No, you can't say what you say there's a law.
It doesn't make you smarter. Article 5 says it.
3.4 of the
Article 5 says it.
Then we'll go to it.
Unity and integration does not mean you elect or you nominate people from one county.
I mean, you totally outside of this, man, Emery. We're talking about.
No, I'm not outside. Go and read it. Go and read it. I am not outside. When I gave you chance here today, when I gave you chance today,
you bring the dumbfounded argument here.
It's not dumbfounded. It says it.
Dumbfounded integration and unity.
Well, okay, well, guys, all right, guys, let's do this. Pewee, let's do this, right? Let's allow. Emmerich. Let's allow Kehleboe to land.
Okay.
And then we will bring out Article 5 of the Constitution and read it.
You will let me tell you this.
Go ahead, Kehleboe.
Those of us who spend our time going to school and teaching other people, even if you do research, If you are an expert on something, if you say something, you are a working dictionary on that issue. I will rely on what people say because people is considered one of the opinion respected person in our field. I would say people say so. And that can be my reliance. I don't have to go necessarily to read this verbatim and say, I'm doing this. My own brother, Councillor Gongloe, teaches constitutional law. He has spoken about it even in recent time. He has spoken about the executive laws about it and asked President Boubacar that the intent of the executive law was very clear, that the president, because at the time were 9 counties, the president should appoint to reflect the geographic balance of the country. I take my reliance on Councillor Gongloe's argument openly in newspaper that no one has challenged him, has disputed that.
The executive law.
He was specific on 1972 and I think, yes, 72. Okay. So
before we close, I will start the portion.
No, give the man chance. Yeah, give the man chance. You don't always have to have your
Emric, hold on. Let's not do it
back. Guys, intellectuals talking here. We're not talking about
No. Intellectual. Tell what job you do in America. You do nothing.
We're not going. Yeah, you're not going personal, please. Not going personal.
No. You want me to tell you? I can tell you.
Look, Pewee.
You been
what job you do here?
You have 50 years.
What job you do that?
No.
Let us
not do that tonight.
Ebola crisis our back home. Shut up, Pewee.
Let us not do this tonight. We're not ruining the show tonight because
no. If you don't want to ruin the show tonight, let us need
you keep interrupting. Pewee.
I will show the show now.
Kehleboe, go ahead.
Wait, you been here more than 30 years? Nothing.
I've been here more than 30 years, Pewee. I've been back home. I opened businesses back home, Pewee.
Nothing.
I was there during the Ebola crisis. I served your country during the Ebola crisis when you were running away, running your butt around.
Guys, let us continue.
All right. So, like I was saying, Tomalin, when we come in the public domain, we have to also respect facts. Yeah. And there's nothing intellectual about, say, challenging what is what. Even common sense would dictate that if Pewee were president of Liberia today, I'm not sure Pewee would base his appointment on tribalism. You would base his appointment on regional, to reflect balance in the country. That, okay, I have 15 counties and I have 21 cabinet positions, and I can afford to have one person come from each county, and then I can even double in other counties where I have interest based on political affiliation. But to say you outrightly based on county, the argument of 6 tribes from one county does not suffice. For me, if you say so, all the tribes are in Moserado. So if somebody becomes president, it's okay, you know what? All the tribes are in Moserado. So I would just appoint everybody in Moserado. Would that be a fair game, Pewee, by your argument? Because all the tribes are in Moserado. Can we do that? Where everybody who lives in Moserado, they got Pella, they got Gribble, they got Crown, they got Gio, Mano, Bandi, everybody. I just look for the people who have no affiliation with their country now, who have just been living. In fact, they were born in Moserado. I just look for some of those people and appoint them. That will not reflect the intent of the founding fathers of the country. So let us not be picky because something at the moment, suit our interest. So that's been selfish to say, I'm from Lofa. Look, there is a Lofian that is in the government. He's my brother, James Double Jallah. I talk about him all of the time. I talked about him last night. This guy, regardless of being Lofa, he's a very competent, he's one person Liberia needs. Very honest person. One of the honest person I've seen in my life. Okay? Because I have personal relationship with him. So I can vouch for his honesty, his integrity. Never mind the Bellway media in Monrovia. Never mind all of that. So, but Double Jallah will also be honest with you, tell you, hey, if I have to make that decision, I'll make it differently. I'm not making that decision. Okay? So that would be my caution. Let us not try, because we're starting something that if say somebody from Nima tomorrow or Bongande become president, then they say, oh, Joseph Boakai did it, or this person did it. Let us not go. It's a slippery slope. Let us not do it. And I don't think we can justify. There is no way you can justify wrong. Wrong is wrong. What's wrong with us saying, I think President Boakai should reverse course, should take corrective measure maybe in the next 1 year. Maybe you try to satisfy some supporters in the first year. The second year, I think you should reverse course. What's wrong with saying that? We'll be helping him and helping the country. I will rest on that.
Okay, guys, we got the time. Let's do our closing comments.
I need to book a point, please.
I come in.
I require you, I require you to allow me to.
I come in. Let's do our closing comments now. So you want to do your closing comments?
Yeah, if you can talk, but just don't talk to Emre. Don't talk to Emre. We don't want to
pressure up, please.
No. Listen.
I beg you guys.
Listen, if you still want me to be on this show, Tomani, and I thought the way you handled what happened just now, for this guy to news effective, something I didn't want to do, something that I can be terrible in doing if I want to do, but I'm trained to allow him use effective. You say keeping on the show with a regular panelist, I think it's wrong. That is totally wrong. That's one of the things I wanted to bring to your attention. If we discuss an issue on this show, we should be intellectual here. And you bring weakling here to come and be insulting. I can't have conversation, but to insult. This is totally unacceptable. And the way both of you guys handle this thing tonight, I'm very disappointed in the way both of you guys handle this process.
I want to discuss this. You call me a weakling. Well, now you're weakling, Pewee. I'm superior over you in America too.
Emre, don't do that. Let him.
I want to discuss this, and if you continue to do this, I want to discuss this off the show. But the fact that he used that kind of a terrible invective.
Who? You did.
That's why I decided to do that. Just
we address it, Pewee.
And as a matter of fact, all my conversation that we have on this show, I don't attack personality. I go for
Pewee, you've been doing it.
If I would say,
playing victim, Pewee.
If I would say, Emmerich, let the man land. If I would say, we gotta go beyond that.
If I would say, President Boakai action by appointing those people, it is on the basis of geographical balance or on the basis of the tribal line in Lofa. I maintain that statement. If that statement will pierce your soul, I maintain that statement. But if on the basis of that statement, and I just wanted to bring this to your attention, Tomani, he went on, and I don't want this to happen, right? My professional life I have laid, I don't play my life even on social media. He went on social media trying to attack me from yesterday, saying all kind of nonsense about this kind of line. I don't let nobody come on this show and do that. I can be terrible in doing. I can come after. I can go beyond whatever you think you want to do. I can do those things. I can do that. I'm very good in doing it, but I'm professional. You were attacking me, even attacking me to the extent of attacking me. Why are you attacking me to talk those kind of things that's turning up? And you heard the last thing you knew that I don't think a family, a serious respected element want to news out on a public show. I'm saying this today to bring you guys to the point that I can be that ruthless if I want to be. I'm very respectful in only kind of person. That's what I want to say.
We address it we address it, Pewee. I can show you we address it.
All right, let me have the floor to speak. All right, Pewee, I think Pewee just playing the victim. All right, this show, I respect this show a whole lot. We come on this show to be able to give our viewpoints and see how we can be able to express our professionalism to correct the ills in our society. But if you look at the argument, Pewee is taking it personal because when people touch on tribalism and nepotism, Pewee feels that the position of Lofa being highly represented in the government is a position that he stands with. And I don't see it that way. It's contentious. Yeah, it's good to have contentious argument on these issues. But I don't think it's personal, right? So if he comes to say that he's interrupting, Johnny, he's interrupting Gongloe, but it's wrong to interrupt him, then I would say I don't have to be on this show, because if he's interrupting other people, he's not giving them a chance to speak, because it's to a heart. Now, when you touch on tribalism, that Lofa, President Boakai is being tribalistic right now. Pewee does not see it that way. Okay, he feels that it's right what's happening right now. And that's my issue, because I'm one of those that have spoken against tribalism, nepotism, and those issues based on our history from 1980. So if he's saying that I used words on him, that not appropriate. That's not true. I was just addressing, we all hot-headed right now.
You remember the last one you used on the show before they cut you off? You remember the one you used?
Pewee, you see, this is the problem I have with you. This is the problem I have with you. You think you have the right to, you see,
hold on. I asked Emery to not interrupt
you see, this is the problem I have with Pewee, right? Pewee, you think you have the right, I said, Pewee, I said, show your professional.
No, the other professional, the last one you used, you remember?
Pewee, I don't care to be listening and be remembering everything I say. What I care about is what I'm going to say it now. That is not personal with you. You make it personal by interrupting when you were speaking. I did not talk. I was quiet.
Who keep putting out these comments?
Okay, I was quiet. I did not talk. Okay, but then when I speak, you interrupt, and that's the reason why I get like this. When you come on a show and tell me I should sit on your voice for you to teach me, it's condescending. It's arrogance. It's disrespectful. You don't even know me to be speaking that way. I will not allow you for something that I've put in 20 years of my professional career.
Because you come with done-funded attitude, and that's what we got to put in your place. If you have done-funded and done,
now you see the problem, right?
And tell you done-funded.
Okay, you see the problem, right?
Guys, I would take at this point. I would say going to respond. Let both of you guys go.
Okay, we can go. Now you see the problem.
I'll have to let both of you guys go.
Okay, I agree.
Sorry, yeah, I'll have to let both of you guys go. Sorry. Guys, yeah, I had to let both of them go. There was no reason for us to have to result to that point where we have thousands of Liberians around the world who are following this podcast, and we come here with the intent to educate or learn, and we cannot result to this kind of thing and want to sit on these platforms and behave as though we are supposed to be leaders or we are supposed to control the narrative in our country. We talk about how we can transform Liberia, and we can't even sit to have a conversation and be and still remain a little bit respectful of our audience. We have to resort to personal attack using profanities as though we are limited with our dictions. It's shameful for those of us who sincerely want change in Liberia. It's shameful for all of us. Let us engage each other, void of profanities. The vulgarities don't take us anywhere. It want to show how limited we can be at times. Let us engage each other. The conversation was good. We can interrupt each other because that's how when the conversation gets heated, it goes down. But for us to get out of character because of something, it wasn't fair to our audience. It wasn't fair to the media. It wasn't fair to the network that is allowing us to come on here every day. Let us not do that.
Guys,
thank
Johnny,
you. Yeah, but
in 1 minute close so we can close.
Thank you, Julius. I mean, you did well for that statement, and that statement represents all of us because once we are here, we are part of the discourse. Like I always say, this platform is there to give our people information, so we must respect our audience. So, but let me just go back. I mean, we're arguing on the executive order. Under 10.2, it says appointment of cabinet members from all counties.
John, we get time.
I'll give him a short, a very short.
Okay.
As far as practicable, the president shall appoint at least one member of the cabinet from every country of the republic. That's the end. So, I mean, those who want to find it, you can get it on the internet. I just got it now. So that's it. Every country must have a member of the cabinet in the government. It's stated in the 72 law of Liberia. But anyway, Mr. Thank you, guys. Thank you to the audience. We're sorry for what actually went on. We hope that we improve on what we did today. We'll make it better always. You can rely on the closing argument to give you most balanced, accurate, and more analytical information. We are here to analyze and give you the opportunity to make your judgment. We're not here to influence. We're not here to influence your decision, but to help you make a decision. So let me say this. So legislature, the lower house of the Liberian legislature is your prerogative. If you think your man who leading you as speaker is not doing the right thing, you want to remove him from there, you go ahead. But Tomalin made a point. He said the reason why they want to remove it is because he wants audit. Tomalin, that is something we heard about that he said he wants audit, and there are many people in the lower house that also have been expressing interest for audit. But in as much as we have not heard from the group that you're talking about, I want to remove him, to tell all their position statement that he want to be, they want to remove him because of this and that reason. I think we should be a little bit careful how we discuss this matter, because it's not about our feeling. This platform is about our feeling. We can sit down our own show and talk, but this platform is about the people. So when we speak in here, let put the people in our mind. Let them be part of our process, our thought process, so that when we speak, they know what we're saying to them. And like, that's why I keep saying to people here that I won't put my personal feelings here. There's some issues in the country that I have personally I don't like, but I won't take it up here because my personal feeling may influence somebody wrongly. But I will try to be more analytical so that I can help people to have a better thought process. So thank you for allowing me on the show. I pray I will always have the means to get on the internet and join you guys and make contributions to us making Liberia better. Personally, I pray that it will be better for all of us. I mean, I lost my whole entire youthful year. I mean, at the age of 20, the war started in the country. The entire year, I want to see young people in Jallah left running around doing things. I didn't do it because I was running from place to place, from Vanjema to Zoso, from Zoso to Kolahun, from Kolahun to this place and that place, until I came back to Morovia, 95, 96. You understand? My entire youth years was in complete turmoil. And I don't want whatever I experienced in my youth years to come to any young people now. I pray that we'll have a better Liberia so young people can grow up and experience the true value of being a Liberian. I feel hard to see young people trying to go to the US or other places because our country failed to take care of us. I feel hard to see African young people dying in the sea because looking for greener pasture in Europe and other places. So I pray that we all can make our Liberia better so that our children grow up and be able to compete with any child in any part of the world. Thank you so much. I'm happy to always be on the show with you guys.
Yes, okay. Let me announce on Saturday, October 19th, the High Table Force Special. We'll be having the High Table Force Special. One of our strong supporter, led by Makan Boyu, the chairlady, will be there it starts at 11:30 till sunset. Seneca State Creek Park, 1950 Clopper Road, Gettysburg. Location, Deer Ridge, Pavilion Dole, park fee is $3. We have Bassa Domoy, goat meat with peanut soup, dry rice, rum punch special, pepper color, soya special. Come and listen to some grown folks vibes and let's have a great time. Yes, the High Table for Special in Gettysburg this weekend. Come there. People are flying from North Carolina, people flying from California, coming from Atlanta, Georgia, Minnesota, just for this special. It can be interesting. Come and let's have fun. We talk politics. We talk everything is on the table. We have fun there. You have people from all the parties are there. They come from everywhere, walks of life. We'll be talking about everything that we talk on the social media, on this platform. We have it there going. But the food is good. And that rum, the chairman of the board chairman of Churchill Kessel, he got a special rum that he introduced to us, and that rum is so nice. But come there, guys. We have fun there in Maryland this weekend. But again, I want to apologize to the audience for what happened tonight. Inappropriate choice of words on the platform was inappropriate. I don't think we should be attacking each other on the platform. You disagree, but to go personal with each other, I think is completely unacceptable. It's not fair to the audience, those who are watching the show. And there are people, you may not see their names, but they are watching the show and they'll tell you, I was watching the show last night and I can bet you, as soon as I leave the show tonight, I already getting calls, text messages coming already. I will get a lot of earful. People they are disappointed. I think we should not take it personal. Sometimes the debate get heated, but we should exercise maximum restraint, control our choice of words so that we cannot be talking to the audience, then we force them on ourselves and using inappropriate words, languages. I'm sorry to all of you, our viewers, please. So you guys, you people know sometimes it happens, but again, we'll take control of it. We address the issue in the back, and we're going to show you that we're not allowed this to happen again. But again, let us just continue to just.
Just to add to that, sorry, folks, to our audience and everyone else, our apologies. Let's get in the back and have this conversation because both individuals are still in the back. Let's talk about it back there and let's just end the show tonight. Guys, we apologize. You all have yourselves a wonderful night. We promise to come back with a better version of the closing